watching AISD Live, Abilene ISD's exclusive home for streaming live games and events. For more live events featuring your favorite AISD students and teams, stay tuned to AISDlive.org, follow us on the AISD Live Facebook page, or subscribe to our Abilene ISD YouTube channel. Visit the AISD Live website for sponsorship opportunity information. Enjoy the game.
Stadium in Abilene, Texas tonight as the Texas High School football playoffs are on the air. Hi everybody, I'm Chuck Statler and we welcome you to Abilene and Shotwell Stadium, the home of the 7-time state champion Abilene Eagles, as we start tonight's by-district championship game between the Eagles and the Highlanders of El Paso's Bel Air High School. Abilene High, the outright champion of District 2, Division 1, Class 5A. El Paso Bel Air got the number 4 spot in District 1, Division 1 in Class 5A. These two teams have only met 2 times in the history over all of the competitive years. And joining me as our co-host and our expert analyst is Greg Knuckles. Greg, what were the 2 years that the Eagles and the Highlanders met?
The first time was September 8th, 1967 in El Paso, when Abilene High won 7-0. The second time was a year later, September 13th in 1968, 57 years ago, and Abilene High beat the Highlanders 20-3 right here at Shotwell Stadium. And Chuck, you know, we're going to hear Coach Fullen say here a little bit here in the coaches show, it's a new season. As Bill Parcells calls it, the tuna, he calls it the tournament, and everybody's 0-0. So no matter what their record is, you know, the Highlanders coming here, they've lost 6 in a row. Abilene High's won 6 in a row, but Coach Fullen says you take everybody seriously because they made the playoffs.
All right, tell you what, we'll be back, and Greg's going to visit with Mike Fullen, head coach of Abilene High, as our pregame show continues on AISD Live.
Well,
Looking for a hands-on career path with high demand and great pay? The welding program at The Lift gives students real-world skills that lead to real opportunities. Whether it's gates or flatbeds, handrails or heavy equipment, if it's metal, you can weld it too. With great instruction, you can master all 4 major welding processes. So get ready to build a career with endless possibilities and join the welding program at The Lift. It isn't just a trade, it's your future.
Hey Abilene ISD community, want to catch all the action from Abilene High and Cooper High School games? It's easy. In addition to Facebook and Vimeo, we're now on YouTube. Just head on over to our YouTube channel by searching Abilene ISD and click subscribe so you never miss a live stream. Whether you're cheering from home or on the go, we're bringing the game to you. So join our online cheering section and stay connected with every play. Hit subscribe and get ready to show your school spirit today.
welcome back to the Abilene High Coaches Show with head coach Mike Fullen. Coach, congratulations. 6-0 district champions. That was one of the main goals this year, was to win the outright district championship. And Monterey did not look like a 4-14 to me. They gave you everything they had last Friday night.
Oh yeah, I mean they were kind of playing for their playoff lives, and they had a week, an open week to prepare for us, and they did a really good job. They got a good football team. They and played really well. Had some good schemes that we had to adjust to throughout the game, but and we knew all year, it's every time we line up against the opponent, we know we're going to get their best shot, but our guys, they gritted it out, and we're happy to be outright district champs and headed to the playoffs for the 6th year in a row.
So you had a bye week last week. What are some of the things that y'all do during the bye week?
Well, because of our bye week being at the end of the year, you handle it a little different. We still practiced. We didn't practice as long. We did most of our stuff during the class period, and then we got in the weight room, did a lot of body recovery, and really mainly just focused on us with fundamentals and just attention to details on things. But more than anything, we just try to get rested up and freshened up, because it's different when you have your open week, prior to like district or in the middle of the district. A lot of times you're still trying to look at an opponent ahead of you or whatever. But for us, having that 10-game gauntlet our guys needed to refresh, and so that's what we did. We kind of reset and refreshed and recharged our battery.
Well, as Bill Parcells says, now we're here in the tournament, and new season starts. Everybody's 0-0, and I know El Paso Bel Air has lost 6 games in a row, but that was during the regular season. So what problems do the Highlanders pose for Abilene High Thursday night?
They're going to be a hungry team. They're in the playoffs. They've had some misfortunes, throughout the year. But when you get in this arena, you can't take any game for granted. The only game that's guaranteed is the one you earn the next week, and so our focus is we want to be practicing on Monday, and so for us it's we want to be playing our best football right now. We want to be focusing on again going 1-0 and consistently get better. We got to make sure that again playing our best football, and then reestablish our capabilities for the next week. Each week we got to close that gap.
Do they run anything that we haven't seen this year as far as scheme-wise?
No, I don't. No, by this time of year, pretty much seen every type of scheme. It really comes down to execution. They're a spread, and they'll run some power game with their quarterback, and then defensively they're a 4-man, 3-man front, and so it'll be football's football, and you got to get in, and again it's like I tell the kids every week, who blocks the best, tackles the best, and stays away from 5-yard penalties.
Again, I'm impressed with the defense. Like I said, Monterey hit us in the mouth, and we came back. We responded every time to the bells like a heavyweight fight, is what I was telling Chuck. And I was very impressed. The defense has gotten better every week, but the offense has also gotten better every week. And I know there's some things that you saw against Monterey that really probably pleased you and stuff that you wanted to work on. But what do you want to see Thursday night against Bel Air?
Just us, execution, that's the deal, come out fast, play free, and that comes with the preparation, and again, we had a short week. Even though we had an open week, we had a short week in preparing, just because of when you get the film and all that, and for us it's just improvement on little details that maybe the layman people can't see that we see in the game that we can improve on, and so those are the things that you focus on is being the best at your position, at your role. And so for us it's just overall improvement, and just keep getting better.
Well, Coach, we're very excited. I'm sitting here right this beautiful district gold ball behind me, and congratulations on being district champions. And I expect to come back next week and see a by-district championship gold ball sitting beside us. And we sure thank you for your time this morning.
Well, thank you. It's gold ball chasing season.
Yep. And we'll be back on the Abilene High Coaches Show on AISD Live.
Great interview, Greg. Thank you for taking the time to visit with Coach Fullen. And he's right, it's gold ball chasing season. He talked about some different things, avoiding the 5-yard penalties. That's something that the Eagles have been trying to work on since Game 1 against San Angelo Central. Early in the season, they saw a lot more penalty flags than they had, but then they kind of started to mature right after the Permian game. They started district play. They were 2-2, and then they just never looked back. 8-2 is the season record for Abilene High. In fact, if you want to know how the season went, it started actually on Friday, August 29th, San Angelo Central here at Shotwell Stadium. Eagles won that one 42-21. Then September 5th, the Crosstown Showdown with Abilene's Cooper High School. Eagles won that one decisively 34-13. Then on Friday, September the 12th, Class 6A, Odessa Permian came to Abilene, and the Eagles fell 38-21. The next week, another 6A team, the old Midland Lee, they call it Midland Legacy now, and the Eagles dropped that one 42-28. Eagles didn't have a chance to do anything but get up off the ground, knock the dust off, because on the 26th of September, they started district play and defeated Amarillo Caprock in Amarillo 42-7. On Friday, October 3rd, the Eagles gave me a great birthday present, defeated Amarillo High 24-21. Then Thursday, October 9th, they defeated Lubbock Coronado, defeated the Mustangs 35-6. Friday, October 17th, the second time since 1958 Abilene High played Lubbock High. The Eagles went on a really big scoring drive during that game, won 73-0. Then Friday, October 24th, at Amarillo, Abilene High defeated Tascosa 24-6. And then on the 31st of October, their final regular season game, Abilene High defeated Lubbock Monterey 42-34, and on the November 7th, last Friday, they were open and take this 8-2 mark now into the by-district round as they host the Highlanders from El Paso, Bel Air, and we're just moments away from kickoff. In fact, we're 17 minutes and 2 seconds away from kickoff here at Shotwell Stadium. We understand we have some people in our audience that are taking our live feed on AISD Live, and we welcome you to our broadcast as the Eagles host the Highlanders. And the Highlanders, the Highlanders are Scotsmen, and their theme is grab the bagpipes and let's go. So they're grabbing the bagpipes. They took off yesterday afternoon, drove from El Paso, stopped in Lubbock for a meal, to Coach Ricoder, and then they came to Abilene, spent the night, worked out here on the field at Shotwell this morning, and now they're in their pregame preparations. A little bit of stretching on the field earlier, but right now they're in the locker room getting a few instructions. We're going to see two highly explosive teams. Abilene High, we've talked about them all years, led by senior quarterback Braden Henry and good running back Ethan Joyner. They will throw the ball to several good targets like John Rangel, Majula Boso. Then you've got Jaden Jackson, John Rangel. So multiple targets. They throw to their tight end, Elijah Wood. So many different things. And then when they get in a short yardage situation, don't be surprised to hear us say Samani Strahan. He's kind of a Larry Zonka, Moose Johnson guy. You give him the ball and send him into the crease, he's going to open the crease up and get what he needs for the first down.
Yeah, and I was looking last week, Bel Air lost to El Paso Americas 55-14, but Jaden Lopez, a sophomore running back for Bel Air, he rushed for 198 yards against the Trailblazers. And so the three guys that make them go, Chuck, of course, Angel Dominguez, or Angel, however we say it, Angel Dominguez is a junior. He's passed 82, he's been 82 out of 152 for 1378, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's carried a ball 113 times for almost 1,000 yards. He's averaging 8.2 yards a carry and 15 touchdowns. But he makes them go. And we understand that he sat out last week, Chuck, to prepare for the Eagles, because they already knew they were playing Abilene High regardless if they won or lost that game last week against Americas. But he makes them go. But, Chuck, I've been saying all day to everybody that's asked me, Bel Air hasn't seen the speed they're going to see tonight. They haven't seen the athleticism that they're going to see tonight. So I'm anxious to see how the young junior quarterback for Bel Air, when he sees the Strahan brothers, when he sees Cheeks, Jeremiah Collins, the safety, Jordan Starks. You know, we call these guys names every week on the Black Shirts defense. I'm anxious to see how Bel Air responds to the speed and athleticism they're going to see tonight.
And, pardon me, speed is something that the Eagles take pride in. You know, they've sent a relay team to the Texas State track meet 3 years in a row with a lot of these particular players, so it's going to be interesting to see how well they do. Right now, the Gold Rush is getting ready to let the team come onto the field. They have a giant inflatable Eagle Warbird. That was what the Eagles were called in the 1950s when Chuck Mosier was the coach, and the Abilene High teams won 4 straight state championships when we're called the team of the century. So they've got their inflatable logo, but also the Highlanders have theirs, and it is a giant red BA, which they are Bel Air, and written on the side of their inflatable tunnel, it's Big Red Pride. So, they're not driving all the way to Abilene not to try to win this one.
No, and I was going to tell you, we have an Abilene officiating crew. Normally, Coach Fulham was talking. Normally, he said yesterday that kind of interesting. I was an official for 30 years. We didn't get any playoff games at Shotwell when Abilene High Cooper played here because most teams that come into Shotwell to play Abilene High or Cooper doesn't want to use their hometown officials. But Bel Air agreed to use our Abilene chapter. And tonight at referee, we have Mr. Glenn Bamlett. Winky James is our umpire. Headline judge is Sam Edson. Line judge is Kobe Ford. The back judge is Tim Griffin. And Tim, he may be the best back judge in Texas. He's one of them if he's not the best. Side judge is Katie Gore, and the field judge is John Abilene. And Chuck, I know they're going to call it right down the middle. I've officiated with a lot of them guys. They're good officials, and I think they're going to do a good job now. They know the stakes. You want to let the kids decide the game, not the officials.
And, most of those guys you just named off, I've seen grow up. And, I really don't think I'm that old, but some of those guys are starting to look gray-headed. But this is, you could almost say, an all-star crew because everybody has earned the opportunity to call a championship game. So we're just excited to have a crew. And that tells you something about Gary Ricoder, the head coach of Bel Air. If he trusts the officiating crew that Mike Fullen selects, they've got to have credibility.
Yeah, and Coach Fullen was telling you and I yesterday that Coach Roan had called him because I guess it's been a while since Cooper's hosted a playoff game in Shotwell. I don't know that for a fact. They play here tomorrow night against El Paso Chapin, but they're using Fort Worth officials because Chapin didn't want to use Abilene. So if they can't agree on the officiating, then the UIL will assign a crew that's closest to the geographical area of Shotwell Stadium. So Fort Worth will be officiating Cooper and Chapin tomorrow night, and we wish the Cougars good luck tomorrow night here at 6 o'clock at Shotwell Stadium. But Chuck, focusing on tonight, we got to keep doing what we do. We got to get off the field on third down on defense, extend the drives on third down. No 5-yard penalties because those penalties have been hurting us. Get out. I think you're going to see a fast start from the Eagles. They're going to be fresh. Fullen said they're refreshed. They corrected their mistakes they saw in some of the games they made some mistakes in. I think you're going to see them fly right out of the gate faster than they ever have tonight.
One other remark about officials, 24 miles from here is the town of Albany, and they've had quite a bit of success during the last decade. In fact, they've won 3 of the last 4 Class A state championships, and their coach, 2 of the last 4?
2A.
2A, okay.
2A, yeah.
And their head coach, longtime friend, Denny Faith. In fact, he's like in the top 5 all-time winning coaches. And when they're in the playoffs, he prefers Thursday nights. And I finally asked him, Denny, we've been friends a long time. Why do you like Thursday night playoffs? And he said, because I get better referees. Nobody plays on Thursday, so I can get my pick of the cream of the crop because everybody else is calling a game on Friday.
Right.
So you get better officials, get a better clean call game, and just everything is in the works for a great football game tonight. Shotwell Stadium was built in 1959. It seats 15,000 people. Unfortunately, about 90% of them are on the west bleachers, so we know we've got a great audience of El Pasonians or El Pasites that are in our audience tonight on AISD Live. You just heard the Eagle fight song. The Abilene High Eagles are now getting ready to march onto the field. The Highlanders have yet to come, and we want to let you know that our broadcast, even though it is under the auspices of the Abilene Independent School District, we will operate within the sanctions of the Texas University Interscholastic League. So the teams are getting ready to come on, and we are just moments away from the opening kickoff as the teams will make their presence known. Then we'll have our nation's anthem, and presenting the colors should be the junior ROTC detachment from Abilene High. They are an Air Force ROTC detachment. And by the way, we had a great Veterans Day parade Saturday and a large feast honoring those veterans from the past, present, and of course we also just appreciate our neighbors here at Dyess Air Force Base as they are throughout the world protecting freedom. And as a veteran, and especially an Army veteran, I want to say hello to my fellow veterans at Fort Bliss and El Paso.
We appreciate everybody's service in the military. Chuck, your service. My brother-in-law has been retired for about 5 years now. He still works on the base there in Little Rock, Arkansas. We appreciate all our veterans that are listening tonight on AISD Live for the service, because we wouldn't have our freedoms if it wasn't for you guys serving our country. 7:28 away from kickoff. And Chuck, what do you want to see tonight from Abilene High against El Paso Bel Air?
Well, I want to see Abilene High number one. And Coach Fulham told us in the first pregame that we taped this year, he wanted to see a clean game. He wanted to see as many penalties and as few turnovers. And ladies and gentlemen, here come the Abilene Eagles as they come from the southwest corner on the turf field at Shotwell Stadium, and the Eagle fans are on their feet to welcome the Abilene Eagles. They are in their home black jerseys, black pants, white numerals, and the golden Eagle helmets as the crowd is excited. Let's go back to what my expectations are, and I concur with Mike Fullen, who is in his 7th season, by the way, as head coach of Abilene High, that they want a clean game. They don't want silly penalties. They want to keep the 5-yard silly penalties out of the way. They don't want to give up any major penalties. The Eagles had a small problem with turnovers earlier in the non-district season. They don't want to turn over the football, and they really just want to maintain control of the game. And that's, the old country football coaches used to say, if you hold the rock, that means you own the clock.
That's right.
Greg, let's introduce our guest from El Paso Bel Air tonight. And would you do the honors, please?
Yes, for the El Paso Bel Air Highlander offense at center, it's number 51, the junior, Dante Gornico. At right guard, the senior, number 50, Alan Castro. Right tackle, the junior, 55, Xander Medina. The left guard is sophomore, number 60, Lilis Valdez. The left tackle,
Ulysses.
Sorry. The left tackle, the sophomore, 70.
It's just like Ulysses Grant, only spelled different.
Right. Sankey Gandara. At quarterback, the junior, Angel Dominguez. The running back, sophomore, 31, Jaden Lopez. The other running back is sophomore, number 5, Marquette Beard. The freshman, wide receiver, number 29, Giovanni Reza. Wide receiver, number 6, Jesus Lopez. And the freshman tight end is 19, Albert Bustamante. On defense for the Highlanders, at left tackle, number 77, he's a sophomore, Brandon Gonzalez. At left end, the freshman, 66, Brian Ramirez. The left linebacker is a sophomore, number 46, Jacob Rangel. The right tackle is junior, number 51, Dante Garcia. At right end, a sophomore, number 88, Derek Ortiz. At right linebacker, the sophomore, number 9, Nick Ramirez. The left safety, the sophomore, 26, Angel Flores. At safety is number 32, Dylan Galvan. The middle linebacker, number 31, Jaden Lopez. At safety, the senior, number 7, Austin Mendoza. The right corner is the senior 6, Uriel Lopez. And that's your starters for the defense and offense for the Highlanders.
The Abilene Eagles are the hosts tonight, the home team. And the Eagles, we will tell you who they are. As let's start with the Eagle defense. All the action starts with the nose guard, senior Jaden Starks. They are in a 3-4 defense. The defensive tackles are DeMarcus Reed, he's a sophomore, and Amani Strahan, he's a senior. The linebackers on the outside, senior Trey Shaw and junior Le'Veon Kuntz. Inside, you've got Skylar Famoa and Samani Strahan, a pair of juniors. The corners are sophomore Jordan Brown and senior Jeremiah Collins. And the safeties are the senior Xavier Delacruz and junior Charles Meeks. On the other side of the football, the Eagles, action starts with all-district returning Ryan Espinoza. The guards are Efren Hernandez and Jim Boema, a junior and senior respectively. And then the tackles, Aaron Ochoa and Wyatt McMillan. The tight end is Elijah Wood. The wide receivers are junior John Rangel, junior Majul Aboso, and Aaron Brown, as well as junior Stephen Wright. The running back is going to be Ethan Joyner. He'll at times be joined by Josh Castillo, and the quarterback for Abilene High, four-year starter, Braden Henry. So the Highlanders have come onto the field. They've gone to the north end zone, and this field here at Shotwell Stadium runs north to south. And now the teams will line up as the team captains approach midfield. We have a large Abilene ISD logo at midfield. And the team captains for Abilene High will greet the team captains from Bel Air. Bel Air in white jerseys, red numerals, white pants, and white helmets with a red stripe down the middle. Teams are going to shake hands, give each other a bro hug, and then we will see the officials do the traditional coin toss ceremony. And then, folks, we will get ready for 4 12-minute quarters in regulation in this bi-district championship contest. So everyone's eyes are on the middle of the field as the officials getting ready to do the traditional coin toss right now. Greg, what do you think needs to happen for the Abilene Eagles as they host the Highlanders?
Well, first of all, there's Cody Coyle down there. He's running the camera here in the blue shoes and the white. He's coming toward us. See him right there?
And Cody was my broadcast partner for 4 years till he decided to go into an entrepreneur venture, and he's doing well, and that was how I got lucky to pick you.
Well, I'm sure appreciate that. I've had a blast. But Chuck, what I expect tonight, the Eagles to come out fast.
Good luck, gentlemen.
On offense and suffocate the Bel Air. The Highlanders on defense. The black shirts need to make their presence known early and often. No turnovers, no stupid penalties, and win the special teams and win the kicking game. That's what I want to see tonight from Abilene High.
The Highlanders won the coin toss. They have elected to receive. They will defend the north end of Shotwell Stadium. Abilene High will be kicking off from the south 40-yard line, and we are just moments away. Thank you for being with us tonight as we get ready for our bi-district championship game. The winner will advance into the next round of the Class 5A playoffs, but we still have one other thing, and this is respectfully one of my favorite parts of any athletic event, is when the Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. We have the Junior ROC detachment from Abilene High, mostly an Air Force ROTC group, and right now they are presenting the colors to the tune of Amazing Grace with the U.S. flag, the Texas flag, and the Abilene High flag. They will post it at midfield, and then the Abilene High Band, the oldest marching band in the state of Texas, will present our nation's anthem. Let's join the crowd. ROTC detachment from Abilene High. They are going to retire the colors to the north end zone, and we will be ready to begin our by-district championship game. This is the first step in the Class 5A playoff championships, and it will end the week before Christmas at the well-known Jerry World or AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Greg, I'm excited about playoff football because it doesn't get any better anywhere else than in the great state of Texas.
And we got the best seat in the house tonight. And Chuck, the winner of this game will play the winner of Denton Ryan, who's ranked number 4 in the state, against Chisholm Creek, and they're playing that game tonight in Denton at 7 o'clock. And so we're going to be keeping an eye on that game. There's a lot of games around the area tonight that we'll be keeping our eyes on. And Chuck, congratulations. Your Breckenridge Buckaroos made the playoffs, and they're playing Peachtree. Is it tonight or tomorrow night?
It is tomorrow night, and that game is being played in Dublin at Lions Stadium in Dublin, Texas. So good luck to everybody's team tonight into the playoffs, and we are so glad to share the best seat in the house with you for tonight's by-district championship game. Once again, we will play 4 12-minute quarters in regulation, and we will play under the UIL rules in the state of Texas, and we welcome you to Shotwell Stadium, named after the great Pete Shotwell, who won 3 straight championships, one in the 1920s at Abilene High, one in my hometown of Breckenridge, and that was 100 years ago, or actually 103 years ago, when they won that first state championship, and this stadium was named after him. So the Eagles will be kicking off from the south 40-yard line as the ball being teed up, and teeing up the ball for Abilene High is going to be Samuel Batinji, and back deep to receive the opening kickoff is Jacoby Elizondo. So Elizondo will be the deep man. He stands at the north 10-yard line. Here's the approach on the ball, and it is a high, deep, end-over-end kick, and it will bounce at the 1 and go through the end zone for a touchback. So the first offensive possession into tonight's game will start at the north end, and it will belong to the Bel Air Highlanders.
Chuck, I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't defer to get the ball to start saying that, but I guess you want to get the ball and try to score quickly on Abilene High's defense. If you're Bel Air, that's your plan. Coming in here, they know they're a sizable underdog against the Eagles, and so like you said, but Coach Ricoder told you, they didn't come all this way just to lay down for Abilene High.
So the Eagles in a 3-4 defense, 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs. As the Bel Air offense comes in, they'll split twins to the left, to the right, single back lining up to the right of Angel Dominguez. Shotgun snap getting ready to come his way. Here's the first play of the game. Dominguez looks, goes to the right, throwing long downfield, and it's batted away. Good defensive play by Jordan Brown from Abilene High.
Great play from Jordan Brown from Abilene High, and he was actually, Dominguez was trying to hit his top receiver, Marquette Beard, but great play by Jordan Brown. You see on the replay, he almost picked that ball off, but a great way to start the game on defense for the Black Shirts.
That incompleted pass stops the first quarter clock at 11:54 coming up. Now it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Highlanders. Once again, spread them out wide to the left, to the right. The umpire puts the ball in the middle between the hash marks. And the white-suited Highlanders are going to see their quarterback, Dominguez, drop back 7 steps. He'll take the snap, give up the middle. The running back is going to get hit as he gets to the line of scrimmage. And, Greg, I'm only counting 7 black shirts surrounding the runner.
Right. Yeah, they just swarmed number 31, Jaden Lopez, their lead rusher. So now you've got a 3rd and 9 on the Bel Air 26. So Abilene High can get off the field here. It'll be a great start for the Black Shirt defense, Chuck, here in the first quarter.
And you're right, if the Eagles can make them go 3 and out. Let's see if they do convert on this 3rd down. Play being shuffled in from the sideline to Dominguez. Now he's going to line up 3 to the wide side of the field. That's to the right. So trips to the right, single receiver to the left. Dominguez shotgun once again. Lopez to his left. Here's the snap. Dominguez looking, throws out in the flat, and it's going to go into the Eagles sideline, incomplete. That will bring out 4th down. And as we talked about, the Eagles really wanted to make them go 3 and out.
They did, and Dominguez went to Jesus Lopez, the junior wide receiver, but then Jordan Brown again with great defense. So great start for the Abilene High Black Shirts, 3 and out. And now Abilene High should get great field position, Chuck, when they're kicking to Braden Henry back deep for the Eagles.
Single safety is Braden Henry, the senior. He's standing at the Eagle 45, and the punter is back for the Highlanders. They'll be taking the punt snap from the 27-yard line. Here's the snap. It's low on the ground. He's going to get it off, and it's not going to be a thing of beauty. Lands on the Eagle 49. Now will bounce across the midfield stripe and will finally be killed on the 48-yard line. So Abilene High gets the football on their first possession on the opponent, half of the field, 48 yards from the end zone.
Couldn't ask for a better start for Abilene High. 3 and out on defense, and now a short field for this high potent, explosive Abilene High offense. We always been saying all year, Chuck, lightning in the bottle. So let's see what Coach Hatfield has in store for the Highlanders right now.
Abilene High coming to the line of scrimmage. They're going to actually spot it at the 49. Abilene High moving from right to left or south to north. And coming up first down, you got Tristan Beal at quarterback. Braden Henry wide to the right. 3 receivers to the right. Single receiver to the left. Joyner now goes in motion to the right. And Beal throws long down the sideline in the hands of his receiver at the 25, 20, 15, 10. That is an Abilene Eagle touchdown.
Wow, beautiful pass from Bill to Majula Boso. And Abilene High again showing their just explosiveness right out of the bat. Beautiful 49-yard pass for the touchdown on the first play from offense. And now the Eagles lead 6-0 pending the extra point, Joe.
And that was a Beal to a Boso pass. Tristan Beal is now going to be the holder. The kicker is Elijah Batinje. And so here comes the extra point attempt. Abilene High leading 7-0. Here's the kick. It's headed up north through the uprights, and it is good. Our new score with 10:44 into the first quarter. Abilene High 7 and the Bel Air Highlanders nothing. We'll be back with more on AISD Live.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Abilene High ready to kick off to the Highlanders of El Paso, Bel Air. The Eagles scored on a one-play drive, 49 yards on a pass from Tristan Beal to Majul Aboso. The kick was good by Batinji, and now the ball is teed up at the south 40-yard line. Samuel Batinji ready to kick off to the Highlanders, and here is once again a boomer kick. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. So now you look at the choice that the Highlanders have. Will they make them re-kick, or will they take the ball at the 25?
They're going to take the ball at the 30-yard line. That's what's going to do, Chuck. How about Abilene High, though? It took 8 seconds, one play, 49 yards, and 7-0 lead to start the bye-district playoff.
The Highlanders in their first possession went 3 and out on a punt, and now they'll come to the line of scrimmage on their 30-yard line. 10:44 first quarter, bye-district championship game. And right now, the Highlanders spread 2 to the left, 2 to the right, and Dominguez hands off. Fullback gets it, goes behind his left guard, moves from the 30 to about the 32-yard line, brings up second down.
Yep, I saw a whole host of Eagles led by Samoa, 33. Jordan Starks was in there. And, I mean, Lopez is going to have a hard time running on this front four of Abilene High, Chuck. I didn't see that happening tonight.
Well, the The defense for Abilene High is pretty junior and senior laden, and if you look at the team that the Highlanders have, they are mostly sophomores and juniors, so a little more experience wearing black and gold tonight. 2nd down and 8 coming up from the 32-yard line. Once again, Angel Dominguez takes the ball, hands off to his running back. He's going to be hit at the 33, taken down there. Jaden Lopez was tackled. And Greg, if the pile will get off of him, we'll see who made the first connection. And that right there looks like that's going to be Samani Strahan.
Strahan and Coons and a whole host of Eagles really there on top of Lopez. So now brings up 3rd and 5 on the Bel Air 35, and so you couldn't ask for a better start for the Black Shirts, Chuck. You'd like to get 2 quick 3 and outs on defense here.
The umpire spots the football on the near hash mark at the 35. First quarter clock moving at 9:20. Abilene High leading 7-0, and 3 receivers to the right. That's the short side of the field for Bel Air. Pressure coming in. The quarterback's going to try to run. He's at the 35. He's hit, but he will get stopped finally at about the 41. That's going to be enough for a first down for the Highlanders.
Nice run by Dominguez to get the first down. Tackled by Meeks. And Jordan Brown on the tackle there for Abilene High, but a good run by Dominguez. He shows he's their leading rusher, Chuck, this year. And so he is dangerous with the football. He makes them go. So 1st and 10 on the 42 of Bel Air.
7 yards on the game for the Highlanders. And right now the clock moving at 8:41 here in the first quarter. Eagles once again 3-4 defense. As the Highlanders break their huddle, they'll send 3 to the wide side of the field, single receiver to the right. Dominguez takes the snap, hands off to his running back, and he will go from the 42 to about the 43 and a half. Brings up 2nd down.
Just a yard and a half, and they're determined to run the football. They like to run the football with Lopez, but a good tackle there by Kuntz. 28 Kuntz for Abilene High. He's been on 2 tackles now. Brings up 2nd and 9 on the Bel Air 43. Eagles leading 7-0, up 8 minutes here in the first quarter.
Now it is 2nd down as trips go to the left. That's the wide side of the field again. And the Highlanders break their huddle. You got Dominguez and Lopez in the backfield. Here's the snap, fake the handoff to Lopez. Pass in the slot, caught at the 45-46. That's going to bring up 3rd down, or do they say that's incomplete?
They called an incomplete pass.
It looked like they were going to move the football up the head linesman, and then he stepped back to the down box.
Number 5, Beard, dropped the pass, but number 4 for Abilene High, Xavier De La Cruz, was right there. So 3rd down and 9 for the Highlanders. Clock is stopped at 7:41. And let's see what Dominguez and company do here for the Highlanders. Chuck, is this 4-down territory?
3rd and 9. Greg right now with the ball on the 43. I would suspect if they don't convert on this one, they're going to have to punt for a 2nd time. Dominguez gets pressure, and he gets away from a tackler. He's throwing downfield, and it's batted away in the secondary. De La Cruz out there with Meeks and Brown, and the ball will be incomplete. That brings up 4th down. I wonder if they're going to send their punter in now.
Yep, punting in's coming on. Great play by Jordan Brown. And again, Dominguez he should have been sacked, but he got out of the pressure. And there were all kinds of Eagles there. But Jordan Brown's made 2 key plays tonight already for the Black Shirt defense, Chuck.
And the punter, Jasil Carabal, will be coming in to punt for the 2nd time tonight. Timeout is called on the field to adjust the clock, so it's an official timeout. Now they start it. So Carabal will be punting. Back in single safety is for Abilene High, and he gets a kind of a side saddle punt off. It's going to land at the 35, and it will take an eagle roll back to the 43. Braden Henry was back, and he saw it bounce in front of him and then start rolling north. So right now, the Eagles get their 2nd offensive play, and they start their 2nd offensive possession.
I commend 42 Jaziel Carvajal because that ball was rolled to him and he had a pretty good punt. But again, 3 and out. Abilene High has great field position, Chuck, at their own 43. 7:22. They scored on the first play from scrimmage last time. Let's see what they do right now.
From the 43-yard line, the Eagles get the football 57 yards away from the end zone. They lead 7-0. Man goes in motion to the right, and it's going to be Henry. Throws out to the right, and receiver gets it at the 43, moves the football to about the 49, and that's where he's going to be stopped. Nice game, brings up second down for the Abilene High Eagles.
Nice pitching catch from Henry to Joel Boso for a 6-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 4.
And Braden Henry back in the shotgun again, sends Boso in motion, and he's going to carry it after he fakes the handoff. He's going to turn the corner at the 50, the 40, sideline at the 30, the 20, the 10. That is an Abilene Eagle touchdown.
Wow. And like I was talking in the pregame show, Chuck, El Paso hasn't seen speed like Braden Henry has. He just exploded when he turned that corner to the left and was gone. And now Abilene High takes a commanding 13-0 lead early here, or late here in the first quarter. But look at the speed right here. And he just outran the Highlander defense all the way to the end zone. Great
Elijah
play.
Bentenchi ready to attempt the extra point out of the Tristan Beal hold. Eagles leading 13-0, 6:44. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. It's up, and it is good. Abilene High leading 14-0 in the Bi-District Championship game, live on AISD Live.
Are you ready to step into the future of technology? Welcome to Abilene ISD's Cybersecurity. At Abilene ISD, we're training the next generation of cybersecurity experts, teaching them how to protect crucial data and secure networks, helping them unlock hands-on skills that will empower them for a career that matters. Together, we're safeguarding today for a safer tomorrow. Join cybersecurity class at Abilene ISD, where your journey as a digital defender begins.
Abilene High scores on their second possession. Their first touchdown was a 49-yard pass. The Eagles' kick was good. It was 7-0. 4 minutes later, at 6:44, 52-yard run by Braden Henry. The kick was good, and now the Eagles lead 14-0, and they get ready to kick off once again to the Highlanders of El Paso Bel Air. As we've got Samuel Batinji ready to kick off. And the back deep man for the Highlanders is Jacoby Elizondo. Here's the kick. It's going to bounce at the 3 through the end zone for a touchback. Greg, you go nearly the length of the football field, and you do it 4 minutes apart.
You do, Chuck, and I think El Paso just saw what they've been fearing on. They saw the speed of Braden Henry, one of the fastest kids in the state of Texas. I'm not just saying this district, but he's one of the fastest kids in the state of Texas, and they just saw the speed when he turned that corner.
So the officials spot the football at the 25-yard line on the Bel Air half of the field. Twins to the left, twins to the right. Dominguez takes a shotgun snap, throws it out in the flat. The receiver's going to be caught at the 25. Not much gain, if any. And making the tackle is Xavier Dela Cruz. X was all over him.
Yes, he was. And now Marquette Beard's limping a little bit, and that's their best receiver. It looks like he twisted his ankle a little bit there, but good coverage by Dela Cruz to bring up 2nd down and 10 at the Bel Air 26. Beard's limping, number 5 for Bel Air.
And right now they're going to give him credit for 1 yard. Let's call it 2nd down and 9 from the 26-yard line. And right now the Highlanders break their huddle, come to the line. Pair of receivers wide to the left now. Looks like they're going to try a reverse going around the corner, and that didn't work for the Highlanders. Trying to carry the ball around the corner was Marquette Beard. So I guess the limping guy gets the ball.
Yeah, but he was met by Charles Meeks and, of course, Jaden Starks. And, yeah, he's not 100%, Chuck. He's limping on that leg. But, yeah, Strahan, Meeks, and a whole host of Eagles had him right there. So now it brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 11. And Abilene High trying to go their 3 straight series, 3-and-out, Chuck.
And a loss of 2 brings up 3rd and 11. Right now, Eagle defense ready to to come in and fill the gaps. Quarterback Dominguez taking the shotgun snap, goes back on his toes, throws it out in the flat, will underthrow his wide receiver Lopez. That'll bring up 4th down, and once again the punt team will come in, and that will be Jasil Carabal.
Yep, Lopez trying to throw a little swing pass, and I think he looked upfield for the ball, got there. So another 3 and out for the Black Shirts. 4th and 11 for Bel Air. 5:06 left in the first quarter.
Single safety back for Abilene High at the Eagle 45-yard line is Braden Henry. Carabal ready to punt. Gets a nice clean snap this time. Puts the right foot underneath it. It's not going to be a thing of beauty. It bounces at the 45 and then will roll from the Highlander half of the field over the midfield stripe into Abilene Eagle territory. They're going to spot it at the 49-yard line.
Chuck, with his 3rd possession in a row. Abilene High's first possession started at the El Paso 49. The second possession at their own 43, now at their own 49. They've had great field position on all 3 possessions, and they've scored on the first 2.
So the Eagles come to the line, and it looks like they're going to put Tristan Bill out wide to the left. Braden Henry's going to line up in the backfield. Nope. Now, you've got Bill in the backfield as they've got a shift change. Henry goes in slot to the right, so they have a pair to the left to the right. And Bill looks, throws. Henry makes the catch at the 45. Shuffles around, breaks a tackle, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 42.
Yeah, he's going to be pushed out of bounds by number 21. That's going to be Anthony Martinez, the senior for the Highlanders. Just a little pitch and catch to Henry, and Martinez made a good play to get him out of bounds.
2nd down and 2 coming up for the Eagles as they move south to north or right to left here on this turf surface at Shotwell and Abilene. Braden Henry, the quarterback, man, goes in motion, fakes the shovel pass. Henry pumps, throws. He's got a receiver with a catch at the 41. Greg, that's going to be really, really close. It's just going to be a few blades of turf keeping them away from getting a first down.
Yeah, that was Jeremiah Collins, number 3 on the pass. So it's 3rd down and a short 1. 4:26 clock running here. Eagles have the ball at the Bel Air 42-yard line.
Well, if you look at it, it's 3rd and about the length of a loaf of bread if you shop at H-E-B. So anyway, it'll be on the 42, the nose of the football, sniffing it at the far hash mark. Eagles leading 14-0 on this 3rd and short. Braden Henry back in the shotgun. Man goes in motion. Henry fakes it. He's going to carry it himself to the 40. Gets the first down, 35. Shuffling at the 30, far sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5. That's an Abilene Eagle touchdown.
Wow. And Henry just again, he took the right corner this time and was gone again. And like I said, El Paso has not seen that type of speed all year. So the Eagles are 3 for 3 on the first 3 possessions. This is what I talked about in the pregame, jumping it out of the gate fast, and they have. And now the Eagles lead 20-0 pending the extra point.
Elijah Batinji ready to kick the extra point. Here's the snap. Here's the kick through the north uprights. And good again. 3:52 first quarter. Abilene High 21 and El Paso Bel Air nothing. We'll be back with more on AISD Live.
The Big Country Athletic Hall of Fame is a nonprofit organization dedicated to the preservation of sports history, highlighting the spectacular achievements of the greatest athletes with ties to the Big Country. Come by and celebrate as we salute and honor the lives of those that gave us great joy as they inspired others and promoted the human spirit. The Big Country Athletic Hall of Fame is located in the Mall of Abilene and admission is free.
The Abilene Eagles score their 3rd touchdown here in the first quarter after a 32-yard Braden Henry run. The kick was good, and now you've got Samuel Batinji ready to tee it up at the south 40-yard line. Back deep once again is going to be Jacoby Elizondo. He stands at about the 5, and here's Samuel's kick, and it is high, end over end, bounces at the 5, goes into the end zone for a touchback.
And the Bel Air will have the ball at their own 25 again. So the fourth possession that Bel Air has started deep in their own territory, Chuck, as they trail 21-0. And let's see here. I was looking, don't have any scores yet from the other playoff games right there. Haven't got any scores reported yet. But Abilene High looks really good here, Chuck, in the early going.
3:52 first quarter. Eagles leading 21-0 over the Highlanders, and it will be Bel Air's first down at their own 25 as they go to a pistol formation. That's where the back line's up behind the quarterback. Dominguez takes the snap, hands off. The Eagles decided they all wanted to have a team meeting right on the jersey of Jaden Lopez. He's going to be pushed back for a couple of yards loss.
And the head of that meeting was number 50, Jaden Starks. He was leading the meeting into the conference room.
Oh, my goodness. You couldn't wrap him up anymore if you'd had a tortilla on him. Jaden was all over him. And, you know, the cool part about Jaden, he's a senior, and a lot of eyes are looking at the nose guard for Abilene High right now, collegiately.
That's good.
I understand he's got great grades, too. So it will be second down and 12. We're in the first quarter. The ball is on the 23 for the Highlanders. We're at 3:06 in the first quarter. Dominguez throws it out in the flat. He overthrows his receiver at the 35. That's going to bring up third down, and it'll stop the clock even at 3 minutes.
Yeah, Lopez just overthrew his receiver. That's number 29, Giovanni Riza for the Highlanders. I think Dominguez is looks like he's a little shaken a little bit by the speed of this Abilene High defense. So another third and long for the Highlanders here as they trail 21-0 in the first quarter.
Third down coming up. Highlanders break their huddle. They're going to send three to the right. That's going to be the short side of the field. The umpire put the football on the hash mark. So Dominguez takes a snap, looks, throws to his middle man. He's going to be hit as he catches the ball, gets to the 25. Jordan Brown on the tackle for AHS.
Jordan Brown having a great first quarter, Chuck. He's had that's his third great plays made tonight. And that pass was to Jesus Lopez, and now it's going to bring up a 4th and 9. So the offense is staying on the field, Chuck. You think Coach Coders decided, well, we're down 21-0. We have nothing to lose to go for it here.
And they've punted so far 3 times. So this 4th time with a 4th down coming up, the incomplete pass stopped the clock at 2:25. Will they go for it? Greg, you just asked a little while ago, is this a 4-down territory? It is right now.
I think he's going to call a timeout. Coach Recorder's watching the clock. Yeah, they're calling timeout, Chuck.
First charge timeout.
And with 2:11 in the first quarter, the first timeout of the game has been called by the Highlanders. Tell you what, we're going to take a short break, and we'll come right back here on AISD Live. Abilene High 21 and the Highlanders of Bel Air, nothing.
Hey Abilene students, do you want to spark up your future? The Lift Electrical Department connects classroom learning with real-life electrical work. Learn to wire, troubleshoot, and to power up the world. From basic circuits to advanced electrical systems, you are prepared for high-demand careers, certifications, and real-world experience all here at the Lift. Not sure about college? The Lift Electrical program equips you with the necessary skills to jump straight into a career after high school. Light up your future today and join the Lift Electrical Technologies program.
And on 4th down, the punt team does come in for the Highlanders. Back deep is going to be Braden Henry. He's at the 50, but the ball lands at the 45. Takes an eagle roll back to the north just before it gets to the 30-yard line. So Abilene High starts their 4th possession in the best starting position of the entire first half.
Second time they've been in Bel Air territory tonight, and they've scored on all 3 first possessions. The last 2, Braden Henry having a heck of a quarter with a 52-yard touchdown run and a 32-yard touchdown run. So he's got 84 yards rushing on 2 carries, and Abilene High has dominated this first quarter. They're looking for more, Chuck, with 2:02 left.
The Highlanders have 1 first down. The Eagles have 5. And now with 2:02 left in the first quarter, Abilene High gets the football, and Tristan Bill will be the quarterback. Line of scrimmage is the 32 of the Highlanders. Brayton Henry goes in motion to left. Bill looks, throws. Henry gets it and drops it at the 35. The incompleted pass stops the first quarter clock at 1:58.
I guess they said that was a backward pass because they didn't blow it dead till just then. So that's going to be forward progress. Is going to be back up. But they're going to say that's a loss. No, they're going back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they'll go back to the line of scrimmage.
First, I thought they called it a backward pass.
Plays an incomplete pass.
It's incomplete.
Yeah, that's a right call. Second down and 10 for the Eagles.
So second down coming up, and that's the first incompletion by Abilene High's quarterbacks. So move it back once again to the 32. 1:53 between us and the end of the first 12-minute period, which is the first quarter. Eagles come to the line. They send 3 wide to the left. Henry is in at quarterback, takes a snap, 2-step drop back, throws out in the flat. He's going to try to get it to Ethan Joyner. Ethan will be taken down for a short loss. That'll bring up 3.
Nice play by the sophomore linebacker, Nick Ramirez, for the Highlanders as he hit Joyner in the backfield for a loss. That's a big loss, Chuck. It's 3rd and 18 now from the Bel Air 40.
So third down coming up, 3rd and actually 18, back at the 40, and all of this action is on the Highlander half of the field as Bill looks, throws down the middle of the field, throwing long, and it's going to be in John Rangel's hands, but did he drop it? No, it is an Abilene Eagle touchdown.
Wow, what a catch by Rangel, and he was wide open, Chuck. Great
the
pass. The
backfield judge, Greg, raised his hands, and then he started waving, and we thought it was going to be incomplete, but that is the 4th touchdown for the Abilene Eagles tonight.
Actually, he did drop that ball, Chuck. I thought he had it. He dropped it.
So indecisiveness did not happen to favor Abilene High. 4th down coming up. The Eagles are going to punt. And the punter is Jeremiah Galvan. Galvan puts a foot into it. It will land at about the 10. Now it bounces off of a player but goes into the end zone, so it will come back as a touchback. But it looked like the indecisiveness of the back judge. First called a touchdown, then called it incomplete, and then it ended up making the Eagles punt for the first time tonight.
Yeah. Rangel he wished he had that pass back, but he dropped the pass and Eagles punt. But now the Highlanders are still back on their own 25 again. This is the 5th time that they've started on their 25 tonight.
1:04 left in the first quarter. Here come the Highlanders from their own 20. Dominguez taking the snap, hands off to his running back. He's hit at the line and taken down. It looks like he was nearly mugged at the line of scrimmage.
Chuck, they're not going to run the football in the black shirts. First quarter he hasn't run anywhere, and so good pursuit by the black shirts. They're all over. Lopez there. You got Samoa and 13 for Abilene High right there, and that is going to be Hendricks for Abilene High. So it brings up 2nd and 11. The ball at the 19, and we got about 29 seconds, 13 on the play clock.
And so they're taking their time, but they're going to have to snap the football or take a penalty flag before the end of the quarter.
I don't understand the thought process here, Chuck. Why would you use all your timeouts in the first quarter? So he called a timeout. That's the second one they've used here in the first quarter.
And so there is a timeout on the field. 14 seconds left on the first quarter. Sometimes you just need to stop the clock to stop the bleeding.
Right. But I'm very impressed with Abilene High this first quarter. They've done exactly what I wanted them to do, and I'm sure you wanted them to do the same thing, Chuck. But they have exploded. You could tell that the bye week did them good. They look refreshed. They look ready to go.
They do, and right now they're not doing anything fancy. They're just doing their vanilla game plan.
You said that yesterday after the coaches show that Fuller would not show anybody in the state of Texas what the Eagles can do. It will be very vanilla.
And so far, vanilla is the flavor of the day. So it will be 2nd down and 14 seconds left, 2nd and 11. And the quarterback, Dominguez, tries to go behind his left guard, and he will go down. And that should should in the first quarter of play as we played the first 12 in regulation in the bi-district championship game.
That's the end of the first quarter.
21, and the Highlanders of El Paso, Bel Air, nothing. We'll be back on AISD Live.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Are you looking to build a solid future in AISD? The construction program at the Lift is a perfect place to start. You'll develop practical skills working with top-of-the-line equipment and learn the techniques employers are looking for. Plus, with expert instructors guiding you, you'll be ready to jump into the workforce or continue your education in construction. We are building foundations today for the students that shape tomorrow. Join the construction program at the Lift in AISD.
Let's start the second quarter in the bi-district championship game. Abilene High leading El Paso Bel Air 21-0. It's third down for the Highlanders. They throw to the right. It over goes the head of the receiver. Incomplete, stops the first half clock at 11:56.
Pass was intended for Jesus Lopez. Chuck, we have not seen Marquette Beard. That's Dominguez's favorite receiver. So this is the fifth 3 and out for the Highlanders as they're punting deep in their own territory, 4th and 11 at their own 19-yard line.
Hassel Carabal is going to be the punter for the Highlanders. He will stand at about the 7-yard line. Back deep in single safety is Braden Henry for Abilene High. Is Carabal ready to anticipate the snap, and right-footed punt. And it's going to go high. It'll bounce and take a roll. And Henry's going to let it roll inside the 40. No touch. So a good punt for the Highlanders. And Abilene High gets the football on about the 37-yard line. This is the worst starting position for the Eagles so far tonight.
And Chuck, they're dominating the scoreboard and they're dominating the stats. I've got the stats for the first quarter. Bel Air had 1 first down. They had 9 rushes for -9 yards, 4 passing yards, 2 of 8, 17 offensive plays for -13 yards. The Eagles have run 9 plays for 149 yards.
And now the Eagles get ready to start this, their 6th possession in the game. On first down, hand the ball, going to the right, and this is going to be Joyner. Joyner over the 45, still going over the 50, has a first down inside the territory of the Highlanders. That is going to be the 6th first down for Abilene High this evening.
Great run by Joyner, and Majula Boso leading the way with a great block there, Abilene High in the hurry-up offense.
And in the diamond formation, they're throwing long down the left side, and it's bobbled but dropped at the 20-yard line. And the receiver doing push-ups over in front of the Highlander bench. That was Stephen White that just couldn't get the ball under control. Brings up second down, stops the first half clock at 11:20.
Right, Stephen Wright with the ball, and nice defense by Angel Flores there for Bel Air. And so brings up second and 10 for the Highlanders.
Slot to the left is Braden Henry. Tristan Bill in at quarterback. Now Boso goes in motion to the left. Bill looks, and he's going to hand the ball off. Going to the right, moving is going to be Ethan Joyner. He'll pick up about 6, brings up second down. And right now, Greg, that diamond formation to the wide side of the field, I think kind of just threw everybody off.
Yeah, you can tell Bel Air has not seen that formation before. Joyner following his blockers, making a good run. And 88, Derek Ortiz, the right defensive tackle made the tackle for the Highlanders.
Eagles are going a double tight end set, double wing. Now they're going to spread out with Wright going to the left, as well as Boso and Henry. Empty backfield except for Beal. He takes a snap, two-step drop back, throws across the middle. It's going to be caught at the 33, first down to the 35.
Nice pitching catch to Braden Henry, and 31 for Bel Air, Jaden Lopez, the running back, playing both ways. So Abilene High gets a first down on that pitching catch from Bill to Henry. 1st and 10 at the Bel Air 30.
Eagles in the huddle right now. They will break. They'll send one man wide to the right, and that is going to be John Rangel. To the left, you're going to have Jaden Jackson. Now he goes in motion to the right. Henry, the quarterback, looks, throws across the field to the other direction. It's going to be caught by his big tight end, and that is going to be Pittman. He makes the catch, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and then kind of like a D6 bulldozer, he just kind of plows up about another 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, Pittman was just a rumbling, bumbling, and a stumbling there, Chuck, looked like, to get the ball, but it's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 for Abilene High at the Bel Air 28-yard line. Actually, that was 67 is who that was for Abilene High. That's going to be...
That would be Jim Boemo.
Jim Boemo.
Did he go in as a
He went in as a tight end.
receiver?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He's another one of those Eagle players. He's a 4-year starter, and he's getting a lot of D1 looks so far. Boso moving from the right to left. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 for Abilene High. Henry taking the snap, and he fakes the shovel, going to carry it himself to the 25 to the 20. He's slung out of bounds at the 10. That's another Eagle first down.
Yep. Henry just following his blockers. Good blocking from number 8 for Abilene High. Excuse me, that's Stephen Wright with the block, and Henry phones buttons. He got a penalty on the Eagles.
10-yard penalty.
First flag of the game, and the first infraction charged against Abilene High. They're going to mark this one back some.
I think that's going to be a hold on the Eagles.
That's something that Abilene High has tried to keep from happening since they started district play. Very few holding penalties.
2nd and 13 for Abilene High.
Boso to the left. You've got Henry and Rangel split to the right. Aaron Brown. And that's your 3 wideouts. Here's the snap. And Henry carries it himself. Foot to the 30, 15, 20, 10 to the 5. And he will prance into the end zone for another Abilene Eagle touchdown.
Henry again just following his blockers all the way to the end zone. And leading the way is Jim Boema, your bud, 67 there. Number 8, Stephen Wright out there along with Henry, and he just cruises in the end zone. And now Abilene High takes a commanding 27-0 lead here in the second quarter.
Here comes the point after try. Kicking the extra point will be Elijah Batinji. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. It is up, and it bounces off the south scoreboard. Our new score, 8:27 in the first half. Abilene High 28, Bel Air nothing on AISD Live. .27 left in the first half. Abilene High in the bi-district championship game, leading 28-7 over the Bel Air Highlanders. Eagles ready to kick as Samuel Batinji tees it up at the north 40-yard line, back deep. For the Highlanders is going to be Jasil Carabal. He'll be standing at the Highlander 10-yard line. Eagles looking really good. We're counting. The Eagles have 4 touchdowns. 3 of them Braden Henry has been involved in, and the other was his teammate Tristan Beal on a pass. The first score into the game to Majul Aboso. Here's the kick. It is high, and it's going to be caught at the 20. Here comes the return team. Abilene High knocks knocks him down at the 23-yard line. Whoever that was downfield, they hit him like a grasshopper going into a windshield.
That was number 5, Trey Shaw, who just leveled Jaden Lopez. And Jaden Lopez kind of getting up. Jaden, watch this, boom, right there. So Trey Shaw, number 5, with the great coverage on the special teams for Abilene High. And Abilene High's doing it all in defense, Chuck, pitching a shutout here in this bi-district championship. And now the Bel Air's pinned back at their own 23-yard line.
8:23 left in the first half. Abilene High leading 28-0. Here come the Highlanders. Their quarterback is going to give to the running back. He's going to go around the right side, turn the corner at the tackle, and Lopez will pick up about 8 yards on that carry to about the 32-yard line, 32-yard line. Let's see where they put the down box. Move it a little slower. It's not that cold out there. They move like they're made.
Lopez fumbled. He dropped the ball right there, but he got it back. Luckily, that could have been huge. Actually, Lopez fumbled the football there for Bel Air, but Bel Air gets it back. 2nd and 1 at the 32-yard line for the Highlanders.
Highlanders only 1 first down. They're trying to get their second one right now. Clock moving, 7:45 here in the first half. As Dominguez takes a snap, he's going to try to go behind right guard and tackle, lowers his head, gets to the 34, and does get that second first down for the Highlanders.
Dominguez just follows blockers. Nice sportsmanship by Trey Shaw there. Giving the Dominguez a high five there at the end of the play, but Highlanders with their second first down of the night. 1st and 10 at their own 34, 7:20 in the first half, clock's running. The Paladura Dons are winning 14-7 over El Paso Hanks in the second quarter.
And our score, Abilene High 28, Bel Air nothing. It is first down for the Highlanders at their own 34-yard line. They're moving south to north or right to left. Angel Dominguez throws out in the flat, and it'll be incomplete right in front of the Highlander bench. Good coverage over there by Trey Shaw. Also joining him in on coverage is going to be Jordan Brown.
Yeah, Trey Shaw and Jordan Brown. We've called Jordan Brown's name a lot already tonight, but Abilene High, you notice Bel Air's trying to slow the game down, Chuck. Have you noticed that? They're just kind of taking their time between plays, even though they're down 28-0. They're trying to slow the game down.
2nd and 10 coming up. The incompleted pass stopped the first half clock at 6:52. Dominguez in the shotgun. Pair of receivers stacked to the left, to the right, and they're going to hand the ball to the running back. That's going to be Lopez. He'll get over the 35, get stopped at the 37. That brings up 3rd and 7 for the Highlanders.
Yeah, you notice they're slowing the game down. They're just trying to run clock. They're letting that clock run all the way down. And we got 6:26 clock running. 3rd and 7 on their own 37 for Bel Air, trailing 28-0.
Here in the first half, the Highlanders have 1 timeout left. Abilene High has 3. That's their full complement of timeouts left here in the first half. 3rd down coming up. Dominguez drops back 5 steps. Righty throws to the sideline, and the ball is batted away in front of the Highlander bench. That's incomplete, and that will bring up 4th down. Will this be the 5th punt for the Highlanders?
Yes. No, the 6th punt.
6th punt. Okay, I don't have 6 fingers on one hand, so thanks for helping me out, Greg. So it'll be the 6th punting attempt. The incompleted pass stops the second quarter clock at 6:01. And the punter is going to be Jasil Carabal. He'll be back. Twin safeties for Abilene High. And here's a nice punt off the side of his foot, and it's going to be caught. Braden Henry makes the catch at the 30. He's got a little bit of blocking at the 40, the 50. He's going at the 40. Got a clear path at the 30. Cuts against the grain at the 20, the 10. That is an Abilene Eagle touchdown.
What a run by Braden Henry. And Chuck, he looked like he wasn't even running, but he was. Great punt return for the touchdown for Braden Henry, and now Abilene High is leading 34-0. with 5:43 left. I think that was a 70-yard punt return?
That was a 70-yard punt return. Eagles now 34-0 over the Highlanders. Here comes the extra point kick for Abilene High. Elijah Batinji will be kicking out of the hold of Tristan Beal. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. And it is headed south through the uprights and bounces off the locker room. And our new score, Abilene Eagles 35, the Bel Air Highlanders 0. We'll be back with more of the Eagles in the Bi-District Championship game in a moment.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
5:43 left in the first half. A 70-yard punt return by Braden Henry now gives the Eagles a 35-0 lead as the ball is going to be teed up. Jesus Lopez will be the deep man for El Paso Bel Air Highlanders, and we're ready to see the kick. Greg, we've got some great guests coming up for our halftime show. We'll tell you more about that as we get ready to the halftime. Right now, Samuel Batinji kicking it up, and it's lofty, fair, caught, bobbled at the 25, ball loose on the ground. Let's see who the officials say get off of the ball last. Will it be a black jersey? And it is an Abilene Eagle recovery.
If things couldn't get any worse for Bel Air, it just did, Chuck. Buff the punt. Now Abilene High with great field position at the Bel Air 25-yard line with 5:38 left in the first half. So Bel Air's just kind of falling apart here in this first half, Chuck, trailing 35-0.
You know, it really wasn't a pooch kick. It was just kind of medium depth kick, and it did exactly what they wanted to because the return man dropped it. Eagles were all over it. So Abilene High gets first and 10 at the 25 of the Highlanders. And you look at Tristan Beal will be the quarterback for the Eagles. Ethan Joyner is going to line up next to him in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left, and here's going to be a shuffle around and a flea flicker. It's going to be caught at the 10, the 5, into the end zone for the Abilene Eagles, and then Skylar from Boa.
Wow. Hartfield pulled some tricks out of the bag there. Great little flea flicker to Samoa. And now actually it was a pass to Henry, or just a pass to Henry back to Bill and to Famoa for the touchdown, and the Eagles now take a commanding 41-0 lead here in the second quarter.
And so it is 5:30 left in the first half, and here comes Batinji. He's going to try the extra point kick. It is up, and it is good. 5:30 left in the first half. Abilene High 42, and the Bel Air Highlanders 0. We'll be back with more on AISD Live.
Hey future creators, are you ready to dive into the exciting world of video production? AISD's Digital Communications program is where your journey starts.
Take 3, Mark.
You can design the next iconic promo, broadcast all the big games, and produce your own short films, all at the Lift, where you'll get hands-on experience with the latest gear like cameras, sound mixers, lights, and more. Let your creativity shine. Start your journey in digital media with AISD.
5 minutes, 30 seconds left in the Bi-District Championship game, the first round in Class 5A Division I, and the Eagles of Abilene High lead the Bel Air Highlanders 42-0. As you look at Elijah Batinji, and he just kicked the extra point. Now his brother, Samuel, is ready to kick off once again to the Highlanders, and he's going to pooch it again. It's up and caught at the 22. Now they're going to try to return it to the right, to the 25, the 30. Eagles make the tackle after he crosses the 35-yard line. The return man then was Jesus Lopez. He's the guy that fumbled the ball. He was holding it with both hands like he was carrying a baby or a sack of taters whenever the Eagles got up to him.
Yeah,
sack of taters.
Good return for Lopez to the Bel Air 38. So El Paso now trailing 42-0, trying to see if they can generate any offense if they have punted 6 times in a row and then fumbled a punt.
5:23 left in the first half. On first down, the snap back, Lopez carrying it. He tries to go to the left, moves the football from the 38 to the 41-yard line. Second down coming up.
What I like to see right there is number 27 for Abilene High, Anson Cobavarius.
Who, the Cobra?
The Cobra.
The Cobra.
Tackled Dominguez, then stuck his hand and helped him up. I like to see that sportsmanship, Chuck, at any level.
So good tackle by the Cobra. Cobaruvius doing a great job. And it's going to be second down now and 6 for the Highlanders. And on second down, little cross buck, hand the ball off. Runner Jaden Lopez is met at the line. He may have lost a couple of yards on that carry. Kind of looked like a cross buck, didn't it?
It did, and he got hit head on by the buck, and that buck was Hendricks, number 13 for Abilene High. And now you got a 3rd and 9 again, 3rd and long for the Highlanders. And Chuck, you notice they're just running the clock. If you notice that, they're just taking their time. They're not trying to do anything here.
Well, and they only have one timeout, and they will need that maybe at a crucial period. But the Eagles leading 42-0 right now. Here comes third down. Trips to the left. Quarterback Dominguez has his running back to the right, and that is Lopez. Single receiver wide to the right as Dominguez looks, throws across the middle, and it's nearly intercepted at the 45-yard line. A penalty flag is down, and the ball just got way outside of the hands of Hendricks. Let's see what the penalty flag is. It's only the second flag against Abilene High in the contest.
Let's see what we got here.
Personal foul, defense number 4, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Called a personal foul on Xavier Delacruz. I don't know what he did. Let's see what he did here. If the replay
we're
shows.
Looking at the replay, and Delacruz basically just kind of cut him off the knees.
Yeah, so it was just a block below the waist.
Yeah, looked like that exactly. So it is going to be another first down by the penalty route. That's only the 3rd first down here in the first half for the Highlanders. From the 41, and you got Dominguez being chased down, and he finally does unload the ball. It's going to go incomplete, but he was getting a lot of pressure right then by the freshman Infinity Carroll.
Nice play by Dominguez. Carroll was on right on his tail there, and basically good. Marquette Beard's back, his favorite receiver, and I think this is the first time, Chuck, tonight that the Highlanders have been in Eagle territory.
I do believe you're right. Now, Infinity, a freshman, he's been up on the varsity for a while. He's had some game action, but as a freshman, he is so quick. Watching him wear that number 44, he almost looks like a defensive John Riggins.
And you know Coach Fullen and Aguirre and Williamson are very excited about having him for the next 4 years.
It is first down for Bel Air. That's their 4th first down. Give to the right. Running back is going to try to make it to the 31. Picks up a handful, brings up third down. Clock moving at 2:50.
That tackle was made by number 27 for the Eagles. That's the Cobra.
That is the Cobra, Hanson Cobaruvius.
Now, Chuck, I think this would be 4-down territory if I was Bel Air. Wouldn't you think with Coder to go for it on 4th down
I'd be moving the football a whole lot quicker than just watching the clock and praying for halftime.
That's what it looks like, doesn't it? It looks like that's what they're doing.
So it is second down coming up, 2nd and 7 for the Highlanders. Quarterback Dominguez getting the snap, throws across the middle on the slant. He's got a receiver at the 20, 15, 10, and that is going to be a Highlander touchdown.
Nice pass from Dominguez to his favorite receiver, Marquette Beard. and just a pitch and catch for the touchdown. So the Highlanders have scored with 2:10 left here in the first half, trailing 42-6.
And that is a 31-yard pass. And so now the extra point kick will come in for the Highlanders. So the shutout is averted by Bel Air. Their kicker is going to be Carabal. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. It is blocked at the line, so the kick will be no good. And at 2:10 left here in the first half, Abilene High 42 and El Paso's Bel Air Highlanders nothing. We'll be back with more of the Eagles in the state by district championship on AISD Live. 2:10 left in the first half in the by-district championship game. The first step in the Class 5A playoffs. Abilene High leading El Paso Bel Air 42-6, and the Highlanders ready to kick off for the first time tonight. As they won the coin toss, received, the whole kickoffs have been Abilene High. This one's going to bounce at the 5, roll through the end zone for a touchback.
You know, if you're the Eagles and Coach Fuller, you got all 3 timeouts. The 2-minute timeout is coming up as well. Got plenty of time here, Chuck. I'd like to go down and score, going to half 49-6. Then you get the ball to start the third quarter.
But then again, Mike Fullen is smart enough to know where he's comfortable with the margin of win, but someplace down the road, even though this is his 7th year as head coach at Abilene High, someplace down the road you may have to play these dudes again. And it's kind of like last year with the co championship, you don't forget some things very easily.
No, he doesn't. He's got a really good memory. We found that out this year during them coaches shows.
So Abilene High gets a 1st and 10 at their own 25. 4 receivers to the right now. Everybody's going to split. You'll have a pair to the left. And for the Eagles, Tristan Bill takes the snap. And he's going to give to the left. This is Ethan Joyner, 30-35. Cuts across the grain at the 40 to the 45. And the Eagles get another first down.
Great run by Ethan Joyner. He's very explosive. And he's another weapon in the arsenal for Coach Fulham or Coach Hartfield in this Abilene offense. Great run, just following his blockers. You show the replay. Great hole opened up by the offensive line, and he just created his own space, and for the first down. So timeout, 2-minute timeout, Chuck, is right now.
It is the 2-minute timeout, and you know it is like the NFL version of the 2-minute warning. However, they've got that copyrighted, so we can't call it the 2-minute warning. We have to call it the 2-minute timeout, and this is the first year that the 2-minute timeout has been in place in the UIL. So that timeout is in effect right now. Teams go to their sideline, talk to their coaches, and the Abilene Eagles get a first down at the 46-yard line, and the 2-minute timeout is about to expire.
Have you told the audience of our exciting guests that we have coming in at halftime?
We do, and I'm trying to make sure that they're here because I actually bought tickets once to a George Jones concert when nobody showed up.
No show Jones.
I guarantee you. So it is first down for Abilene High at their own 46 as Tristan Beal in the backfield, trips to his right, takes the snap. He's looking to the left, throwing. He's got a receiver with a catch at the 45, and he's going to claw for some extra yards to the Highlander 43-yard line, and that'll be another Eagle first down on that catch, Stephen Wright.
Nice pitch and catch to Stephen Wright for the first down, and now the Eagles in Bel Air territory. A little hurry-up offense here for the Eagles.
and the clock moving in a minute 43. Bill looking, rolling to the right-handed junior looking, going to go to the 40, 45, 30, steps out of bounds, gets another first down, stopping the clock at a minute 33.
Bill showing his speed as well. He wanted to throw down the field, and he had a couple of receivers wide open, but he decided he wanted to see if he could score, Chuck, when he turned that corner. But Abilene High, first down at the 32-yard line of Bel Air with a minute 33. They've got all 3 timeouts.
From the 32 of the Highlanders, Bill showing that he can run, movement on the line, penalty flag. This is a free play, and throwing it and batted away at the 5-yard line. He wanted to throw that one to Jaden Jackson.
Yep, Jaden Jackson, and he was covered by number 6, Uriel Lopez. Let's see what the flag is.
I think it looked like an encroachment to me.
Okay. Well, they're talking about it. Glenn Bamlett, Winky, the line judge is Kobe Ford on our side. They're discussing it down there at the 40-yard line. Let's see what Bamlett says.
As he's going to turn and face the press box. And now he's like me, forgot what he was doing. He
I think it's illegal.
False start offense, number 6.
False start on the offense.
5-yard penalty, remains first
So
down.
somebody jumped for Abilene High, so it's going to back them up 5, bring up 1st and 15 for the Eagles.
I saw the defensive tackle on the left side in the neutral zone when the football was snapped, and I thought it might have been against the Highlanders. So it is going to be 1st and 15. The 37-yard line is the line of scrimmage. A minute 27 left here in the first half. Eagles leading 42-6. Here's the snap. Throw long into the end zone, and it's going to be dropped. He was going for it all right there, and it just didn't click.
Braden Henry went right through his hands, and he was covered. Number 27, Adrian Gomez, was back there for the Highlanders, and this was a great pass from Tristan Bill, and it just went through Henry's hands in the end zone for a sure touchdown. And number 7 for the Highlanders, Austin Mendoza, was back there also on the coverage. But it's going to bring up 2nd down and 15 at the Bel Air 37.
Minute 21 left in the first half. And here's a pass out in the right flat, caught at the 28, stepping out of bounds. Making the catch for Abilene High is going to be Jaden Jackson, and they should move the sticks. It's still going to be 3rd and long, but the Eagles continuously play just a pretty shiny game here in the first half of this by-district championship game. On 3rd down coming up, Tristan Bill back in the shotgun again. Henry lining up to the right. Bill getting the ball, looks, throws. He's got a receiver wide open. That's a Boso. He's got it at the 22, over the 20, still going at the 15, still going inside the 10, and he'll go into the end zone for an Abilene Eagle touchdown.
What a move by Majula Boso. 2 Highlanders all over him. You're going to see on the replay. He just showed his toughness there, Chuck, on that run. What a great run for Boso. Now Abilene High takes a commanding 48-6 lead here in the first half of this by-district championship, pending the extra point.
And here comes the extra point try with Elijah Batinji to kick out of the Bill hold. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. It's headed south, and it is good. Now with a minute 5 left in the first half, the Eagles 49-6 for the Highlanders. We'll be back in a minute on AISD Live.
No, no, no. Turn it down. Turn it off. Get a hand. Lose the bells and whistles. Drive without distractions.
Abilene High ready to kick off with a minute 5 left in the first half. The Eagles lead 49-6 in the by-district championship game as they are hosting El Paso's Bel Air Highlanders. And what a great night. we forgot to mention our broadcast coordinator here in the booth, Matthew Pelletier. Matt, you are the guy flying the plane tonight. Thank you very much. So the ball is teed up. Samuel Batinji ready to kick it off. And let's see who will be back deep. It's going to be Elizondo for Bel Air. High kick. It's going to be short, fielded, ball loose on the ground. Will they say he was stopped? Did he call a fair catch? That's going to be the question. That could bring more drama than General Hospital right now, Greg.
Charles Mix came up with the football, but I think they're saying he's down. The head linesman, Sam Metzen over there, you know Sam pretty well, Chuck, I think, but he called him down. But now they're talking about it. Kobe Ford and Glenn Bamlett, and they're all coming in to discuss what's going on. Abilene High thinks they have the football. Coach Fullen's standing right down here at the 27-yard line. Let's see what Glenn Bamlett says here after the discussion. I think it's going to be Bel Air football.
And right now, with a 43-point lead, I'm sure there's probably going to be a little mercy with the guys wearing the striped shirts also.
Yeah, Winky's going to put the ball at the Bel Air 25. So this is the 8th possession for the Highlanders, and they scored a touchdown on their last possession.
5 yards.
A 31-yard pass from Dominguez to Beard to make this 49-6. But they're out of timeouts. Chuck, they got one timeout left with a minute left.
And the Eagles have not used a timeout with 61 seconds left in the half. They probably won't. Coming up at halftime, a very special guest coming, and Dr. John Kuhn, the superintendent of schools from AISD, is going to join us. We're going to talk about some good news that happened earlier this week within the Abilene Independent School District. Handoff to the running back. He goes into the middle, and you've got Amani Strahan making the tackle. 1 yard loss brings up 2nd and 11.
I think Bel Air just wants to go into the locker room, Chuck, try to regroup and come out in the second half. That's what it looks like to me.
Well, the question is, will they come out for the second half?
Yeah, I think they will.
Facetious,
you talked to Coach Recorder. He said they wasn't coming all this way just to give up. That's what he told you, right?
He said they didn't come all this way not to try to win. Second down, give to the running back. That's going to be Lopez. He tries to go behind his right guard. Picked up about a yard. 3rd down coming up. Clock moving. Now at a baker's dozen. 13 seconds and counting here in the first half. And the teams start to meander towards their locker room, and we will call this intermission. So it is halftime. It's a by-district championship game at Shotwell Stadium in Abilene, and the Eagles of Abilene High take a 49-6 lead into the locker room. Tell you what, we're going to take a 2-minute break and come back with our halftime show and our special guest, as we are looking forward to just a quality visit with the superintendent of the Abilene Independent Schools. You are listening and being a part of our great audience on AISD Live.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hi there, I'm Dr. John Kuhn. I'm superintendent of Abilene ISD, and I'm super proud of our Fine Arts Department district-wide. They have been honored for the 5th consecutive year with the District of Distinction Award from the Texas Art Education Association. And the teachers and administrators in Abilene ISD do a wonderful job working with schools, with the community, with our kids, with our families. Couldn't be prouder, super happy to acknowledge them and celebrate them with you today.
And welcome back to Shotwell Stadium in Abilene, Texas, as it is halftime. And here at the half, the Abilene Eagle Band will be performing, and they'll be performing their number that they had performed earlier in UIL competition. And so that we'll be seeing them, but we're going to be carrying our interview here, and my headset's not supposed to be working, or when we turned on the handheld mic. We're having a little family discussion here, folks. Okay, the handheld mic is, so I can't hear that. So joining us here at halftime is the superintendent of schools for the Abilene Independent School District, and it is Dr. John Kuhn. And right now we look like Larry, Curly, and Mo doing brain surgery, and that's okay too, but it's Randy Cluck, Curly, and Mo. So I got a little echo, and then we'll be pristine, Cluckster. So anyway, an exciting week for AISD. And thank you very much. There we go. Like they used to say at the roller rink, all skate. We're good. So anyway, an exciting week for AISD. We had a very successful Vader. And it's not Darth Vader. It's the voter-approved tax election. Carried exceptionally well. I think the people that live and do business in AISD were pleased with the turnout. I liked your first line, and I think it was repeated more than anything else. We have buses older than some of our bus drivers, but it passed. Now, the voters have approved the tax rate, so what's next?
Before I talk about that, I just want to say, y'all had this thing running like a well-oiled machine when I walked in, and as soon as I came down here and got involved, it just went crazy. So I think you guys do better without me in the mix down here. So yeah, the Vader was it was a big win for Abilene ISD. That revenue, $10 million a year, will be continuing to flow into the revenue side of the Abilene ISD budget long after I'm gone. And that makes me really, really proud to have been a part. I have to commend the school board for having the foresight and the willingness to put that on a ballot, ask the voters to support the school district. And of course, a big thank you goes out to the voters who came in and said, we want our students to have access to this revenue. It's revenue that will be invested in our local schools for years and years to come. So,
well, you said you think it's going to be a long time. You're a young guy. So I hope it goes for a long time, and
I
it's
appreciate
a good
you saying
investment,
that.
a great business decision.
It's just such a great opportunity to access revenue that is available, and but it takes a community willing to say, yes, count us in. We're behind our schools. We want our students to have the best of the best, and that's money that we're not going to squander it. We're going to invest it. I've been pretty transparent with our intentions. We have 5 priorities with what we want to spend that money on, and now you asked what's next. What's next is listening to stakeholders and finding out what they want to see that money go towards. There's more than $10 million worth of needs in Abilene ISD and probably every other public school district in the state of Texas. We've, really had some hard times in recent years, especially since COVID, with costs going up and revenues from the state really stagnant. And so, this is just a way to inject a little new revenue to help us address some things that need to be addressed. And now it's a matter of prioritizing, picking which of those things need to be done first.
Well, coming out of this last legislative session, the legislature did some favors for school districts, and then they did some other things that people questioned. What were you thinking? But as things came together and the voters that live within the Abilene Independent School District had a chance to approve a tax rate that was going to address some unmet needs, I think it's going to be good. And primarily, I think that it's going to help us market our community. Remember, we're 3 years away from the B-21 with our largest employer since 1954, and that's the United States Air Force.
Yeah, and we've been told in our conversations with some of the liaisons between Dice Air Force Base and Abilene ISD that there will be, over the next 10 years, 1,500 more school-age students moving into this area. And Abilene ISD, we want to make sure that we position ourselves as a great option for those parents and those families to choose where they want to send their kids. We want to have the kind of offerings, the kind of specialized programs, the kind of career and technical education opportunities that families are looking for. We want to prepare kids not for the jobs that exist now, but to be positioned for the jobs that are gonna be here in the future. And with the data center and the Air Force Base and Hendrick Hospital, there is a lot of science, technology, engineering, and math in Abilene, Texas. And so we've been expanding our STEM education offerings, and we're going to continue to always be looking at the future and what can Abilene ISD do to prepare the workforce of tomorrow and to give our graduates every opportunity, not just to go out and succeed, but to go out and lead.
And right now, you mentioned mathematics is such a key role in the future growth of what's going to be coming in. You know, my generation, we did the gazintas. 2 goes into 4, 2 times, 3 goes into 6, 2 times. And so now with more sophisticated business methods and so much more help, and especially with the AI blossoming right here in our own backyard, it's going to be great. So your job as the administrator of one of the top 5 employers in Abilene is to make sure that our customer base gets to know how well to operate it, and that's the training and that's the purpose of schools, unless I misread the memo.
No, you're absolutely right. We owe it to our stakeholders, and that's our parents, our students, and our taxpayers, to give them an excellent educational experience. That's what public schools are meant to do. Every public school district in the state of Texas, we cover every square mile of Texas with a school district that is funded by taxpayers, and we have a moral obligation, and I use that phrase a lot in talking to staff and in talking to people around. We have a moral obligation to meet the needs of our kids and their parents, and to establish the future of this community by preparing not just a workforce, but civically engaged, good neighbors. That's what we do. We take kids, and in partnership with families and churches, we help them navigate life to the point of being ready for adulthood.
And I think that you had a great team of people that were willing to basically educate the public on what the Vader program was, how it would be to benefit everybody. The benefit statement was awesome in that process. And I think that the people that actually did the research, the study, those were the people that carried, excuse the sports analogy, I know it's difficult for me not to, but carried the ball across the line. And it was a great community effort. You had people from the entire economic spectrum of our community saying, this is what we need.
Yeah, I appreciate the voters who educated themselves. It is a complicated subject. It was an opportunity to leverage this funding stream that is there without raising taxes, because our tax rate went down from 99 cents to 95.8 cents, but yet it generates $10 million in brand new revenue that recurs year after year. And when you explain that, it sounds too good to be true. And so there are a lot of people that when they first heard it, they were like maybe a little skeptical. And so what we had to do over and over again, we did over 70 presentations around the city of Abilene. We had to explain the background, how it works, the convoluted nature of school funding in the state of Texas. And the other thing you have to do is you have to be a trustworthy organization when you tell people, hey, this is what we're asking, this is what we're explaining to you. They don't have to believe you. They could think you're selling them snake oil, right? And so that's why after it passed the very next day, I got on Facebook and I typed a post that said, here's what the tax rate was, here's what it is now, and here's what we're going to do. So I think transparency is really, really important when you're in a position like superintendent of schools, because you're dealing with people's money and you're dealing with people's kids, and there's not a whole lot in life that people care more about than their kids and their money. So in being transparent and just telling the truth and being honest, even about complicated topics like this, it's real important that you build trust with your community.
And one of the things when you and I first visited about a month ago when we were talking about the Vader in this booth, I said so many people that are my age, over 65, their first question is, okay, what does that do to my frozen tax valuation? And you said nothing. And I think you had a whole battalion of supporters that said, we want our kids to get the best, but we don't want to pay any more taxes because we've done our share. And you have held up on that. And so for all of us in the Geritol generation, let me just say thank you.
Well, I've got good news too. As we move forward, I think it's very likely that tax rates in Abilene ISD will continue to go down because of the rising property values. I think, there's a lot of development going on in Abilene, and every penny of taxation that we levy, it generates a certain amount of money. But when there's more value, it generates more money, and that means we don't need to tax as many pennies to generate the money that it takes to operate our school district. So I think there's a lot of good things, and I've got to tip my hat to the DCOA and the Chamber of Commerce and a lot of great people in Abilene that have worked very, very hard to put Abilene on the map and help make sure that Abilene, Texas has a reputation as a forward-thinking community that supports people, that supports development. That is ultimately good for everybody because it allows the school district and other taxpayer-funded entities to have the revenue they need without just continuing to raise taxes.
Well, Abilene as a community and as a business community, we're going to have some more growing pains. I understand that there's some more growth going in different areas. And of course, folks know what my day job is. We're going to be included in that mix, and that's going to be okay. But we're excited about the potential growth, the attraction of things, and working on something with a major retailer possibly coming in that is going to be an attraction also as a destination retail point for the 120, 150 mile area. And
I can't wait to learn more about that.
Well, you'll just have to wait your turn when it becomes public knowledge. But there is good cooperation between all the local entities, the city, the county, and of course our ISDs in the county too. So if I am a person that wants to know, okay, the voters approved this by a pretty good majority, what do I see happening today, tomorrow, and in the short distance, because it's going to be a long-range plan, as you pointed out.
Yeah, well, so the first thing you're going to see is the school district will receive the new revenue this school year, the second semester of this school year. So there will be an increase in revenue flowing into our coffers this year, which we didn't budget for that revenue, right? I mean, that's just a great accomplishment, and we are going to be polling our staff. We've already generated a menu of possibilities of things that we could spend the $10 million on, and we did that through an activity with our entire leadership team, all the principals, all the directors, executive directors, and so they listed and prioritized several things. So we're going to take the top 12 or 15 of the things that they listed as important priorities, and we're going to create a ballot and send a survey out to all of our staff, and we're going to ask our staff, what are, out of this list of things, what do you think are the 2 or 3 most important? And then we're going to take that information back, and we are going to set spending priorities, and we're going to make sure the public and all of our staff know once this process is over where we intend to direct that $10 million. And there are going to be things that we do that are just expenditures for this year, like certain repairs and maintenance things. But then there are going to be things that we set in the budget and say this is going to repeat annually. Like, for example, traditionally over the past several years, we've bought 2 brand new buses every year. Well, we need to buy a lot more than that because we have about 90 buses in our fleet, and you can't take 45 years to rotate through your entire fleet, right? So one thing people are going to see is we're going to go from buying 2 buses a year to maybe buying 5 buses a year, and that's going to be a permanent change in our budget as we set those spending priorities. We're looking at potentially reducing some class sizes, potentially giving some raises in targeted areas, and it's a good problem to have, but it's also a little bit of a challenge because there's a lot of needs, and $10 million doesn't go as far as you think it would once you start saying, okay, when you look at our entire staff, you give a raise to everybody, you can spend a lot of money real fast. So
trust me on that. When you and I first met about a year ago, you came in and had to make some day one serious operational decisions, and some of those decisions were on personnel, and those are always the hardest. Yeah. And when you and I first met, I said, hey, I'm praying for you on those hard decisions, and you said, I will covet your prayers.
Absolutely.
Because when you're dealing with people and their careers and their lives, those are always the most difficult. But I've heard everything that you've done has been done well. You know, I'm seeing one of my good friends for a long time sitting behind you. He's one of your trustees, and he's agreeing that, yeah, tough decisions needed to be made, but they were made at the right time and for the right reason. So may I congratulate you. And I'm like you, I'm in a profession where you don't get caught doing stuff right very often.
That's right. Yeah, you kind of like the offensive lineman in football. They don't notice you till you mess up.
That's true. So we're excited about the luck and the fortune and the hard work and the sweat equity that's made this possible. And we just want to say thank you for, number one, great educational structure. Abilene High, Cooper, the middle schools, the elementary schools. You've got student activities, a great band playing for a half-empty stadium, and the other half that's empty. They didn't want to make the drive from El Paso to Abilene, but it's their loss because they're missing a good performance. And I like the fact, I'm saying this probably out of school, but what we've got here tonight is student athletic events and participation, because they know their heinies have to be in those classroom chairs before they can hit the field.
No pass, no play, and we need them passing.
72 from what, 1982?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah,
I was a little kid when that came through.
Well, I was broadcasting back then, but yeah, we're trying to figure out how House Bill 72 is going to keep a lot of people for the team I was broadcasting for eligible to play on Friday night.
You know, I'm wearing my FFA shirt tonight, Abilene High FFA, and you know, my experience as a high school principal, high school assistant principal, high school teacher, superintendent, has been that those extracurriculars, whether it's athletics, whether it's fine arts, whether it's career and tech, agriculture, for a lot of kids, that is what keeps them in school. And, you know, an education really helps our society. It obviously helps kids, you know, grow into the fullness of who they can be, and it makes them employable and things like that too. But, you know, a lot of people, it's different in other countries. I've been to Germany and looked at schools there, and all of the activities that kids participate in is unrelated to school. They just belong to club sports or whatever. And so we have something very unique in the United States and in Texas, especially with Friday Night Lights, you know. And my whole career, you know, you'll hear people that aren't sports fans, that don't understand how school districts invest what they do in uniforms and stadiums and basketball gyms. But the reality is it's part of our history and heritage in the United States that part of schooling is not just academics. It's also learning teamwork. It's also having pride in your community and getting out on a field under the lights in front of your parents and your neighbors, and you know, leaving it all on the field. And I might be a little melodramatic about it, but I really do think athletics, fine arts, agriculture, CTE, it matters so much to kids because for some kids, that's why they're there.
And, you know, just a generation ago, aside from the classroom, you did have FFA, you had vocational technical classes. Home ec was the biggie. Home ec doesn't even exist anymore. It's pretty much gone. But then I look across Loop 322 from this press box, and I see a great building and great program where they're teaching people skills to learn how to cook, and learn how to do so many technical things, and they like it. They come to school early because of what's going on over there. And in fact, you look at Matthew, who's behind us, who's you're what, a senior or junior? Matthew's a sophomore. He's the AIC, the adult in charge of me and Greg here in our
That's a full-time job right there.
It is tonight, but
you're doing a great job, Matt.
He is a great guy, and we have pretty much an all-student crew that's doing our broadcast. For this broadcast that's going across the state, we invited the Bel Air parents and their fans to go online and be a part of our broadcast audience tonight, because we're so proud of the product that's coming through AISD TV and AISD Sports, and we just want to say thank you.
It's super incredible what kids are capable of, and it's incumbent on us as educators to, number one, trust that they are capable, and number two, give them opportunities, give them equipment, give them experiences so that they can not only show what they can do, but also so that they can grow into these skill sets that honestly are very marketable skill sets. You know, learning audio and video production and design I mean, there's all kinds of careers out there, designing commercials and working in TV studios and working on websites. And then, you talked about the Lift Center over there, and I went a couple Saturdays ago, and they were having a robotics contest where it was an invitational. There were schools from all around, and they had all built their robots, and they put them in this arena, and they had to move balls into certain areas. It was almost like robot basketball, and it brought out. There were hundreds of kids in there, and their parents were sitting in the bleachers watching, and that's one of the things about public schools I've always loved. Even back in my day in a small school where there weren't a lot of options, not anywhere close to what there are now, but yet every kid can find their niche, whether they want to be in sports, whether they want to be up on the stage in a play, whether they want to be in choir, whether they want to be out welding or learning electrical. There's just, or going just straight academics, and they have a plan to go on to college and go into economics or whatever. There is something for every kid. And beyond just the learning that they can fall in love with, there's also the opportunity to find a sense of belonging on a band, on a team, in all the different activities we do, FFA, all the different clubs and organizations. There's leadership opportunities. Public school is a special thing, and I get a little defensive when I hear people bash and criticize, because usually they're people that have never worked in a school or never taught kids, But what I've seen my whole career, including right now in Abilene ISD, I see a community of adults coming together to take care of kids, love on kids, and equip them for a great future. And it's just such a I look at it more as a ministry than as a job, not just for me, but for my team and my staff. And it's not just Abilene, it's Wiley and Jim Ned and Clyde and all the schools around us. These adults come into these towns and they help kids flourish.
One of the great leaders on your board of trustees, Rodney Goodman, is with me. And Rodney, when you and I were in school, the teachers would say, "Now, Rodney, you and Chuck quit diddling on that piece of paper." Now they call that graphic arts and get class credit for it. Anyway, we appreciate it. Last time that I had you on, I had so many calls in my office going, "Hey, he sounds like a really great guy." And I've assured them that you are.
I appreciate you telling them that.
Your chairman of the board of trustees, the president of the board, come in, and Angie was great. Angie Wiley was good, but I only had one comment, and that comment was that supposed to be a halftime show or a 30-minute infomercial? And I said, whichever way, did we get you hungry enough to go vote? And they said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to vote because I know more about it than I ever thought I would." So if this is an infomercial, folks, I hope you enjoyed the infomercial, but it is halftime. We're going to need to take a break and get ready for the second half. Dr. John Kuhn, thank you so much. Number one, when you and your family moved here, Abilene got to be a better place, and you're making it a better place every day.
Some people say Mineral Wells got better when we moved out here, but I'll take it. I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's okay, and thank you very much. With 3:52 between us and halftime, we will go ahead and take a 2-minute break here at the half. The Eagles of Abilene High 49 and the Highlanders of El Paso Bel Air 6. We'll be back with the second half of the Bi-District Championship game on AISD Live.
Ready for a more convenient way to purchase Abilene High or Cooper game tickets and a faster way to get to your seat in Shotwell Stadium? Abilene ISD is proud to partner with Hometown Tickets for online ticket sales at all high school athletic events in AISD. For easy access to purchasing, storing, and scanning your tickets at the gate, download the Hometown Fan app available in any mobile app store. Tickets for all high school athletic events can also be purchased on the AISD website via the ticket information page under athletics or at the gate with a credit card. Varsity home game tickets go on sale at 8 a.m. on the Monday of game week through 12 p.m. on game day. Tickets are not sold on AISD campuses, and cash will not be accepted at Shotwell venue events. Additional information about sub-varsity and middle school game tickets can be found at AbileneISD.org. So what are you waiting for? Download the Hometown Fan app and get your tickets for the big game today.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy, it's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is finding the right seat so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax, it always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Welcome back to Shotwell Stadium here in Abilene. At halftime, as Abilene High leads the El Paso Bel Air Highlanders 49-6. Minute 13 left to kickoff. Abilene High will receive the kickoff to start the second half. I got some scores of interest, especially in Division I, Abilene High's division. Abilene High will play the winner of Denton Ryan and Chisholm Trail. And right now in the first quarter, Denton Ryan leads Chisholm Trail 21-0. Another score of interest in the same half of the bracket for the Eagles. Aledo, the number 1 team in the state, leads Saginaw, the Rough Riders, 21-6. In Cooper's division, Division II, and here come the Abilene Eagles onto the field. Abilene High running out through their big War Eagle. Paladur all over El Paso Hanks up at Vivint Stadium in Amarillo, 42-7. El Paso de Valle leading Lubbock Cooper 7-3 in the first quarter. San Angelo Central leading El Paso Pebble Hills 7-0. The Merkle Badgers, Westwood's Merkle Badgers leading Odessa Compass 7-3 in the second quarter. Cisco all over Cristoval 21-0 in the second quarter. Hawley over Fort Sam 14-0. Stanford 6-0 over Sonora. Munster 28-0 over Cross Plains, and Albany 14-0 over Santo. And both teams that come back on the field, Abilene High will receive the kick to start the second half, and the Highlanders will kick off to the Eagles. Abilene High ran 23 offensive plays for 327 yards. They rushed the ball 9 times for 188 yards. They were 10 out of 14 passing for 139 yards, 11 first downs. They were 75% on third down, 3 of 4. They had 4 penalties for 35 yards, and they controlled the ball for 7 minutes and 12 seconds. Bel Air, 5 first downs. They were 16 rushes for 18 yards, 5 out of 14 for 56 yards. They've ran 30 total plays for 74 yards, and they had the ball 16 minutes and 56 seconds in the first half. So Abilene High with a commanding 49-6 lead. They will play the winner of Denton Ryan Chisholm Creek. We'll try to find out where that will be next week and what day and time. But right now we're ready for second half action. And here's Chuck Statler.
And the Highlanders get ready to kick off to the Abilene Eagles. As back deep, you will have Braden Henry along with John Rangel and Majula Boso. Here's the approach on the ball and the kick, and the second half is underway. It's going to land at the 15, picked up by Jaden Jackson. Now he's going to reverse his field at the 20, 25, 30, knocked out of bounds at about the 35-yard line.
Nice play by Jackson. What a hit by number 21 for El Paso. That's Anthony Martinez. So Abilene High with good field position again. They'll start at their own 37-yard line here in the second half, leading 49-6.
So the Eagles get ready to come to the line of scrimmage, which will be the 36-yard line for the Abilene Eagles. You've got Ryan Esparza at center, Efren Hernandez and Jim Boema at guards, Wyatt McMillan and Aaron Ochoa at tackles. In the backfield, you've got Braden Henry along with Ethan Joyner. Henry, the quarterback, split to the right. You've got Majul Aboso along with Stephen Wright, and to the left, John Rangel. Henry looks, first down, fakes, throws long downfield, and he's going to go short of Rangel at the 30. That's going to be an incomplete pass. 11:46 here in the third quarter. Once again, the Eagles lead 49-6.
Rangel got behind Uriel Lopez, number 6, and Austin Mendoza, number 7, and Henry just missed him. So it's going to bring up second down and 10 for Abilene High at their own 34.
And And once again, thank you to Dr. John Kuhn, the Superintendent of Schools of the Abilene Independent School District, for being our halftime guest. Second down now. Braden Henry looks, rolls to the right. Right-handed senior looking, and now he's going to tuck it under, try to turn the corner at the 35. He'll step out of bounds near the 40-yard line, just about a shade away from it. That's going to bring up third and about 4 for the Abilene Eagles.
Yeah, pushed out of bounds by number 21, Anthony Martinez, but Braden Henry with a short gain of a manageable 3rd and 4 for Abilene High at their own 40.
And when Henry stepped out of bounds, that stopped the third quarter clock at 11:36. Now on third down, empty backfield. Braden Henry, in anticipation of the snap, looked like blitz was getting ready to come in from the Highlanders, so he's made an audible or a change on the field. Trips to the left, twins to the right. Now man goes in motion to the right, and they're going to give the ball to Stephen Wright. He goes from the 40. He's hit at the 45, spins, turns, gets to the midfield stripe, and gets a first down for Abilene High.
That's a nice play by number 2, Ethan Joyner. Took the end right. It was Ethan Joyner. It looked like Stephen Wright at first, but Joyner was the one that ended up with the ball. And we have a flag on the play. Let's see what Glenn Bamlett says.
So right now, the Zebras, or the guys in the striped shirt, are talking this one over.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, number 17, offense.
Personal foul, late hit,
15-yard penalty
charged against Abilene High, so they're going to mark yardage back away from the Eagles, so take away that first down also.
17, Aaron Brown was called for the late hit, so it's going to bring up a 1st and 10, or excuse me, 1st and 25, or 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
So it is first down. And Joyner goes in motion to the right. Henry throws. He's going to make the catch at the 35-40. Still moving over the midfield stripe, and they got all that yardage back and get a first down on the Highlander half of the field. So Abilene High gets the first down and keeps moving the football. The clock keeps moving. 10:56, third quarter. Eagles leading 49-6. And here's the throw on first down. Throwing, Rangel makes the catch at the 20, and that's going to be another Eagle first down.
Great pass from Braden Henry to Rangel, and this time he got in front of Jesus Lopez, or Uriel Lopez, excuse me. So 1st and 10 Abilene High at the Bel Air 20.
So it will be a first down. They're going to spot the football, Greg, at the 20-yard line. Henry, the quarterback right now, as it looks like Joyner's going to be the running back. They're going to give to Joyner. He goes to the right side. Will follow the hole between the center and the right guard, moving it from the 20 down to the 18-yard line.
Joyner follows blockers, and good tackle by 77, Brandon Gonzalez for the Highlanders. And Joyner's another explosive weapon in this arsenal that Abilene High has, Chuck. So that brings up a 2nd and 8 at the Bel Air 18-yard line.
And the clock now moving under 10 minutes here into the third quarter. Once again, the Eagles leading 49-6. On this second down, Braden Henry, the quarterback. In the backfield is Josh Castillo joining Ethan Joyner. Henry, long count. And he's going to give dive play. Joyner over the 15, moves the football down to about the 12. That's going to bring up third down and about a long 3 for the Abilene Eagles.
Good play by Joyner. Just ran right up the middle for a short gain, and now it's going to be 3rd and 2. And 3rd and short for Abilene High at the Bel Air 12.
Eagles are going to go in with a double tight end set. Aiden Ushery will check into the lineup for Abilene High with the football on the 12. 3rd and 2 coming up. Henry in an empty backfield, trips to his right. Now there's going to be a shuffle of receivers. You're going to have a double wing and a tight end set to the right. And here's the snap. Henry looking, throwing into the end zone. He's got a receiver and an Abilene Eagle touchdown. Making that catch was Caden Kemp.
Great play by Caden Kemp. Wide open in the end zone. So Abilene High takes an opening drive here in the third quarter and goes right down the field and scores. And now they lead 55-6, pending the extra point.
As Caden Kemp gets his first touchdown catch of the year, 8:53 here in the third. And right now, Elisha Batinjo to do the kick, and Batinji makes the kick good. 6:53 in the third. Abilene High 56 and El Paso Bel Air 6. We'll be back with more on AISD Live.
Chuck.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
.8:53 on the third quarter clock. Abilene High 56, El Paso Highlanders 6, and the Eagles get ready to kick off. Samuel Batinji kicking. It's going to be fielded on the 4. Ball gets away from the return man. Now he's going to have to run, and he can't run anywhere but backwards. They're going to stop him at the 5.
Wow, good special teams coverage by Abilene High, Hendricks, and a whole host of Eagles down there in Bel Air. If it couldn't get any worse, Chuck, now you're at your own 5, and I got some scores of interest. 6-11 in the first half. Denton Ryan leads Chisholm Trail 24-0, and Abilene High will play the winner of that game if they win this game in Aledo out in front of Saginaw Rough Riders 28-6.
So the Eagle defense comes in, and as quick as we get permission and a verification on where the next round of the playoffs will be for Abilene High, we will share with you, but we can't verify that right now. And the Eagles go in for the touchdown, and that is an Abilene Eagle touchdown.
Great pick by Leon Koontz. And Koontz has been everywhere tonight, Chuck. He's made some great plays all night long. And Dominguez just threw it right to him. He just made a great play, stepped in front of Marquette Beard. And the Abilene High defense now with their own touchdown, Chuck, to get involved in the scoring mix. And now Abilene High is up 62-6 with 8:42 left, pending the extra point.
And how long was that interception return, Greg?
Probably about 10 yards.
Okay. And so here comes the point after. Try again, Elijah Butinje, and it is up, and it is good. Our new score with 8:42 third quarter clock is the Eagles 63-6 for the Highlanders. We'll be back in a moment on AISD Live.
Hey, honey. We thought we'd try something new.
Family art hour. What do you think?
You got jokes. You're funny.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
8:42 third quarter clock. Abilene High leading 63-6 over the El Paso Bel Air Highlanders. The Eagles ready to kick off again. Samuel Batinji is going to be kicking for the Eagles. Back deep is going to be Jacoby Elizondo. Here's a kick and fair catch. Call 15-yard line, no return.
So El Paso Hanks will have their 10th possession of the ninth and start out their own 25. And Chuck, if you're Hanks, look at their body language over there. I think they're just ready to get on the bus and start that long trek back to El Paso.
Like I told you during halftime, if I were the coach, I'd be thinking, Leroy, go start the bus right now. But we still have a lot of football to be played, and the Highlanders knew they would have their hands full with a top 10 team like Abilene High. We're at 8:42, third quarter, Eagles leading 63-6, and the Highlanders come to the line of scrimmage. from their own 25. Angel Dominguez takes a snap. Hands off his running back is going to be Lopez. He's hit. Now they're going to push him back. I think they're going to say forward progress, Greg, at about the 27, but the Eagles are trying to push him back to the zoo way beyond the end zone.
Lopez, they just not have been able to get that running game going tonight, Chuck. And he rushed for almost 200 yards last week, but he is not having a good night tonight. At halftime, he only had 10 carries for 5 yards.
And it is 2nd down and 8. The ball is on the 27. We are on the Highlander half of the field. They're going to send 3 out, split wide to the right, single receiver to the left. They come to the offensive line. 5 people, center, 2 guards, 2 tackles. And now the quarterback, Dominguez, takes the snap. He's going to throw out in the flat. He has a receiver with a catch at the 34-yard line. And nope, they're going to say 35. That is a first down. It's first here in the second half. Tackle for Abilene High made by Juan Barrera.
Barrera and Marquette Beard, his favorite receiver. So it's 1st and 10 at the Bel Air 35. Clock running, 7:29. 63-6 Eagles here in the third quarter.
And it is a first down for the Highlanders from their 35. They're moving left to right or north to south as they come to the line. They've got 3 split wide to the left, single receiver to the right. The quarterback, Dominguez, takes the snap, throws to his slot man. He's got a catch, gets to the 39-yard line, pickup of about 4.
4-yard pass to Beard and nice tackle by Abilene High, number 6 for the Eagles, and that's going to be Jaden Brown Johnson, the junior. And Chuck, I just noticed Bel Air didn't even bring any cheerleaders with them.
Oh, it's because they're on the band bus.
Oh, okay.
They didn't bring a band. So 6:43 and counting here in the third. 63-6, the Eagles leading. It is 2nd down and 6 right now as the Highlanders come to the line, which is the 40-yard line. Umpire spots the ball, far hash mark, and little cross buck. They're going to give the ball this time. It will be to Lopez. He's going to be stopped, and the Eagles keep pushing them back.
Yep. The Cobra. I just heard his name called. The Cobra's been everywhere tonight.
Anson Cobaruzzi is just really good. We've known that for the last 2 years. He's been on the varsity, and he's just proving that he deserves his playing time, and he's done well with what he's had tonight.
At halftime, the Central Bobcats 7, the Pebble Hill Spartans nothing. Mark Smith Bobcats pitched
go
the
get him,
shutout.
son.
Yep. If they win, they get the winner of South Lake Carroll and Crowley next week. Number 1 team in the state, 6A.
Well, don't ask for something unless you're ready to take it on. That's all I can say. 3rd down and 6 coming up. And for the Highlanders, their quarterback Dominguez drops back, looks. He's trying to throw long downfield. He's got a receiver with a catch at the 23, the 20, the 10, and that is going to be a touchdown for the Highlanders.
Nice play from Dominguez and
61 yards.
Jesus Lopez was wide open for the 61-yard touchdown pass. So the Highlanders not giving up, Chuck. They're still trying to fight here. 5:24 left in the third quarter, and they trail 63-12.
And here comes the point after try as their kicker is Carabal, and he'll be trying for the extra point kick conversion as his holder is going to be a Cobb Rangel. Here's the snap, here's the kick. It is clearing the ball to the south, and now with 5:24 here in the third, our new score, Abilene High 63 and Bel Air 13. We'll be back in a moment on AISD Live.
The Big Country Athletic Hall of Fame is a nonprofit organization dedicated to the preservation of sports history, highlighting the spectacular achievements of the greatest athletes with ties to the Big Country. Come by and celebrate as we salute and honor the lives of those that gave us great joy as they inspired others and promoted the human spirit. The Big Country Athletic Hall of Fame is located in the Mall of Abilene and admission is free.
Abilene High ready to receive the kick from the Highlanders of El Paso Bel Air after a 61-yard touchdown pass has narrowed the gap to only 50, 63-13. Here's the approach on the ball, and we're ready to go as 5:24 left here in the third quarter. Here's the kick, and it is going to be caught at the 10 by Majula Boso. He's on the return to the 20, to the 30, to the 15, going down the far sideline. He's at the 25, penalty flag from Boso now at the 10, cuts across the grain. That could be a touchdown, but let's see what that penalty marker on the far side indicates.
I think that's going to be a block in the back on the Eagles. We'll see.
The result of the kickoff was a touchdown.
I think it's a block in the back, and it'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
During the return, holding, number 16 return team.
That's holding.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Abilene High.
Going to be a penalty. They're going to mark it, Greg. That was a 90-yard kickoff return. However, they're going to go to the point of the infraction. Is that correct?
Yeah, where the spot of the foul is, it'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So they've got the ball marked at the 35-yard line of Bel Air, 1st and 10.
So that's basically take the touchdown off the board, and it was a 55-yard return, and at the spot of the foul, they'll give first down to Abilene High at the 35 of the Highlanders. Did I get all that right?
You did.
Wow. So here we go with the Eagles leading 63-13. Braden Henry, the quarterback, or let's see, will we have another quarterback? And no, right now, you've got quarterbacking for Abilene High. You've got Bill. He throws that in the flat. Henry's got the catch at the 40, the 30, down inside the 20. He'll be stopped at the 15-yard line.
Chuck, that's a great play by Henry, Bill to Henry. How long do you leave the starters at now here?
Well, I was thinking two series into the third quarter, but right now we're 2/3 of the way through the third.
I think if we score here, I think you'll see Fullen start playing.
We're seeing a lot of clean shirts in the second quarter, though.
Right.
A lot of rotation. And I learned a long time ago, you never try to outguess a weatherman or a football coach. First down coming up from the 15. Tristan Beal looks. Procedure call against Abilene High.
It'll be a false start on 77. Caleb Graham, he's a freshman.
False start offense. Number
he's got
77.
a freshman in on the offensive line, and he had a false start.
Remains first down.
Can't hold that against him. It's probably his first week on the varsity offense this week.
Caleb Graham's going to come out. So the Eagles will come back to the line on this 1st and 15. And right now you've got a Boso splitting out way to the right. Bill in the shotgun. 2 steps drop back, throwing into the end zone, and he's going to be throwing to Braden Henry incomplete. That will bring up second down, stopping the third quarter clock at 4:03.
Braden Henry covered by number 11, Damian Areola, the freshman. So Bel Air starting to put some of their guys off the bench and now get them some playing time in this bi-district playoff game.
Second down coming up from the 15-yard line on the Highlander half of the field. Once again, Bill, the quarterback. Josh Castillo, the running back. Fake the handoff, throw out in the flat at the 20, moving inside to the 15 to the 10, and getting enough to move them for a first down.
Good play by Stephen Wright there. Little just pitch and catch from Bill to Wright, and Jaden Jackson out there blocking. He almost got away from 26 for El Paso Bel Air, and that's Angel Flores, the sophomore defensive back.
It was 2nd and 15, and now it's 3rd and 5. So it will be 3rd down. Very good. So we need to go to Radio Shack tomorrow. Anyway, it's 3rd and 5 coming up as Bill, the quarterback, takes the snap, and he's going to shuffle it off to Henry. Henry goes to the right, and so does the entire defense for the Highlanders.
Yep, 88 Derek Ortiz and 46 Jacob Rangel for the Highlanders. Just bottled up Henry there. So brings up 3rd and 5 at the Bel Air 11, 2:53 clock running, and Abilene High can still get, actually now it's 4th down and 6, and I think Abilene High, you might as well just go for it here unless you want to get some field goal practice in, Chuck.
Well, it'd be an awful short field goal, so let's go on ahead and try to convert on this 4th down. Beal in the shotgun. Sends a man in motion. Castile now comes into his right pocket. Low snap. Tristan looking. Throwing across into the end zone for an Abilene Eagle touchdown.
Nice touch pass from Bill to Braden Henry. And so Abilene High now takes a commanding 69-13 lead here in the 3rd quarter. As they go 5 plays, 35 yards. With 3 minutes and was that 3:58 off the clock?
And here comes the extra point try with Batinje, and he's going to kick it up, and it is good. And now with 2:22 left on the 3rd quarter clock, the Abilene Eagles 70 and the Highlanders 13. We'll be back with more on AISD Live.
My relationship with my dad, I've had many male figures in my life, but there's only been one that has taught me that it's okay to be silly, it's okay to feel small, it's okay to admit you need help. And with anything, I can always go to my dad.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
Carl Mosier.
2:22 on the 3rd quarter clock. Abilene High ready to kick off. That means Samuel Batinji has it teed up at the south 40-yard line. And here's the kick. He's going deep with it. It lands at the 4, bounces into the end zone for a touchback.
Yeah, touchback. So Hanks will start at their own 25, and we've got an update score from Denton. At halftime, Denton Ryan leads Chisholm Trail 31-0.
And our score, Abilene High 70, and the Highlanders of El Paso Bel Air 13. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Highlanders at the 25-yard line after the touchback. The umpire's going to set the ball between the hashes. And here's the snap. Dominguez is going to give it to Lopez, and Lopez is going to stop so all the Abilene High defense can surround him.
Yeah, that's number 22, Javion Hammond, in on the tackle for the Eagles. And they've got some new clean shirts in there, Chuck, as you said, but just wrapping up. The Cobra look at the Cobra in there. And you got 42 in there. 42 is Aiden Hamian, the senior defensive lineman on the tackle. 76 is in now, Brent Ross, and Fulton putting some new faces in the defensive lineup, Chuck.
And this is a great time to get them some real-time varsity experience. It will be 2nd down and 10, 137 and counting, and the ball off, and the runner is trying to get over the 30, gets to the 34. That should bring up 3rd down and short yardage for the Highlanders.
Haydeman and Kuntz on the tackle for Abilene High. Brings up a 3rd and 1 on the Bel Air 34. And Chuck, I got to think this is 4-down territory for Bel Air.
You know, if they can't convert on this 3rd, let's see what they've done. They haven't had a lot of success on 3rd down conversions. They did go for it on 4th once and did get that converted. So it is 3rd and 1. Long count from Dominguez, and they're going to give right up the middle, the fullback at the 45, the 50, the 40. He's going at the 20. He's going to outrace everybody from Abilene High for another Highlander touchdown.
Dominguez showing his speed and just broke through the hole opened up, and he was gone. He's their leading rusher, and he showed why he has been their leading rusher this year for Bel Air, and he just took off and was gone. Kuntz made a good effort diving at him, trying to get the play, but so, Bel Air's not giving up, Chuck, even though they're down 70-19 here in the third quarter.
66-yard run, and now here comes the extra point conversion, 70-19, Abilene High leading, and they're going to go for 2 as they spread 5 to the right, 2 to the left. Dominguez, the quarterback, sends a man in motion. And Dominguez rolls to the right, penalty flag, and he's going to try to throw it into the end zone. It will be no good. However, let's see what the penalty marker will indicate.
We have an offsides or legal formation. It's going to be a legal formation.
Illegal formation.
Yeah,
offense.
legal formation against Bel Air. So the try's no good. Makes it 70-19.
It's Abilene High 70. And the Highlanders 19. 42 seconds left on the third quarter clock. We'll be back with more of the Bi-District Championship game on AISD Live.
All right, look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs. We are proud of you for quitting smoking. But you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable.
Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
42 seconds on the third quarter clock in the Bi-District Championship game between Abilene High and El Paso Bel Air. This is the first step in the Class 5A Division I playoffs, and right now the Highlanders from Bel Air ready to tee it off at the south 40-yard line. Back deep for Abilene High, Braden Henry, John Rangel, and Majul Aboso. Pardon me, you've got Jaden Jackson back there, and here's the kick. And it is being caught by Jackson at the 15. Now he's to the 20, going down to the far sideline to the 30, the 40. May have some running room at the 50. They're going to drag him down by the shirt tail at about the 35.
Great run by Jackson there. He almost broke it, Chuck. Got tripped up at the 35-yard line. So 1st and 10, great field position for the Eagles. 30 seconds left here in the third quarter, 70-19 Abilene High. And I'm anxious to see if Fulton still has the starters in. But Jackson almost broke it. But a great tackle by number 21 for the Highlanders, and that's Anthony Martinez. A touchdown-saving tackle for the Highlanders. But Abilene High, Tristan Beal still in at quarterback.
And the Eagles will have a 1st and 10 at the 35 of the Highlanders. Umpire spots the ball, far hash mark. Bill in the shotgun, lined up behind him is going to be Castillo. And Bill throws to the right side, and a penalty flag thrown at the catch at the 30, moved down to the 25. Let's see what the penalty marker is going to show us.
I think we're going to have a holding on Abilene High, I believe that's what it is. It's either a holding or an offsides or a face mask, but I think it's holding.
Pass interference. Offense, number 82.
Offensive pass interference.
15-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Okay. So a couple of penalties more here in the second half. Something that Mike Fulham wanted to work on. They're going to mark the yardage off on Abilene High, taking the ball back to the, should be around the 45. They're still marching. And they're going to move it to the 50.
It's going to be 1st and 25 for the Eagles at midfield.
And so here come the Eagles from midfield stripe.
Third quarter clock fixing to run out, Chuck.
As Tristan Beal ready to take the snap. and he will do that. Throw it out in the flat. Here's the catch at the 50, the 40, near the sideline, and he will get inside the 35-yard line, making that catch.
That's the end of the third quarter.
That's Tevin Porter.
That is number 81. Yep, Tevin Porter ended. The tackle was made by number 11, Damian Ariola, for the Highlanders.
And that ends the third quarter of play as we get ready to swap ends of the field in the bi-district championship game. The Eagles of Abilene High 70 and the Highlanders from El Paso, Bel Air 19. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter regulation on AISD Live.
My dad showcased a sense of love that I never had before. It felt like it was something that I've always wanted. I mean, he's not only my parent, like he's like my best friend.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter in regulation of the bi-district championship game. Abilene High looking at a 2nd down and 6 from the 33 of the Highlanders. Eagles leading 70-19. Tristan Beal takes the snap, and he's going to flip it, fake the flip outside, give it up the middle to Josh Castillo. Castillo will move the pigskin to the 29. You know, in 43 years of broadcasting, that's the first time I've called the leather-bound football a pigskin.
Well, that's what they used to call it all the time. Got some stats here, Chuck. 13 rushes for Abilene High, 212 yards on the ground, 18 of 24 passing, 253 yards, so a balanced offense, 18 first downs, 37 total plays for 465 yards.
3rd down and 4 coming up for the Eagles as Bill throws it out in the flat. He's got to catch at the 25, and this going into the end zone is Aaron Brown for an Abilene Eagle touchdown on a 29-yard pass and catch.
Nice pass to Aaron Brown for the touchdown. And now Abilene High leads 76-19 here with 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
So our new score is 76-19. Here comes the point after try. Kicking with Elijah Batinji. And we're seeing the snap. Here's the kick out of the Beal hole, and it is good. So 11:09 left in the fourth quarter. The new score, Abilene High 77. And the Highlanders, El Paso, Bel Air 19. We're back with more Eagle football in the bi-district championship game on AISD Live. 11:09 in the fourth quarter of the bi-district championship game between the District 5A, actually the District 2, Division 1, Abilene Eagles in Class 5A, Abilene High 77, and from District 1, 5A, Division 1, the Highlanders from El Paso, Bel Air 19, 77-19. And right now, the Eagles get ready to kick off with 11:09 here in the fourth. And here's the kick, and it is going to be high, and it'll be fielded fair catch at the 18. Here's the return to the 22, and the Eagle coverage men did that what they wanted to. Now, Greg, we asked Mike Fullen the question in our visit with him on Wednesday morning. When it gets to a point like this, when officially does the continual clock start to run? And he said it's totally at the discretion of the officials.
No, it's the discretion of him and Coach Recorder. If Coach Recorder might fully go to Glenn Bamlin and say, don't stop the clock, then he will. But both coaches have to agree on that. And I don't know if Recorder, well, he just started the clock before they even snapped it. So the clock's running now.
So the continual clock is in motion, and the Highlanders have a 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line. And right now the quarterback, Dominguez, looks. He's getting pressure. He's getting chased. And it is going to be a great tackle for Abilene High by Infinity Carroll, the freshman. That's his 2nd solo tackle in the game.
I think we've got a hold of number 70 of El Paso Baylor. It looked like a hold to me. Sakiri Gandara, the sophomore. And I think we've got a hold on El Paso Baylor. We'll see here what the college weekend Bamlett are talking about. We've got an injured Eagle on the field.
And so the officials have taken an injury timeout, which stops the game clock at 10:37. It is one of the few reasons that the officials will allow the game clock to stop. And right now the injured Eagle is being helped up off of the field. We hope everything is going to be well, and we'll get ready to start the game clock as quick as he is assisted off of the field. The line of scrimmage will be moved to
Personal
the
foul,
11-yard line.
Offense.
And that's going to bring up
decline.
second down and
Second down.
18 to the Highlanders, where they'll have their next line of scrimmage. Actually, second down at the 12-yard line. You never heard of the team, did you?
Nope.
That's an old country one.
That was a blindside block on Bel Air that was declined by Abilene High, so 2nd and 21 at the Bel Air 11.
And here comes the snap. Dominguez giving up the middle. His running back is going to be converged on. They're going to push him back. It looks like a rugby scrum as they'll push him back from the 11 to the 9-yard line.
Even the backup black shirts are just swarming Bel Air. That's what you want to see, Chuck. These kids don't get a lot of playing time, but when they get in, they want to show Coach Fulham and Coach Aguirre and Williamson what they can do when they get their opportunity.
Looking at corner on the right side right now, you've got Juan Barrera as he is taking the place of Jeremiah Collins. And Barrera got some first half action. He's played pretty tough tonight, but it is going to be 3rd and 23. Dominguez takes the snap. He's at the goal line now. He's going to get away to avoid the safety and throw long downfield. He's got a receiver with a catch at the 45, the 50, the 40, cutting across the grain at the 25, the 10, the 5, and that is going to be a Bel Air touchdown, making that catch Marquette Beard on an 89-yard touchdown pass.
Yep, that's Dominguez's favorite receiver's Beard. And Beard just got behind the secondary of Abilene High, and Dominguez saw him and just made a perfect throw, hit him in stride. And you had chase from number 16 for Abilene High. That's Josh Castillo. Number 6, Jaden Brown Johnson, all in pursuit, but Beard showing his speed. He's the top receiver for the Highlanders. And now El Paso down 77-25 with 9:28 left, pending the extra point.
And it looks like they're going to go for the 2-point conversion instead of the kick. So here's the 2-point conversion try. They'll have 5 wideouts, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Timeout is called by Abilene High.
First timeout, Abilene High.
26 here on the fourth quarter clock, 77-25. Greg, let's keep the time right here because you've got some stats you want to share.
Well, I gave Abilene High stats. They 37 total plays, 465. They've had 1 punt return for 32 yards, 3 kickoff returns for 133 yards, 1 interception for 5 yards. They've punted once for 40 yards. They've only had the ball for 14 minutes and 3 seconds. They've had 8 penalties for 81 yards. They're 5 of 7 on 3rd down, 1 of 1 on 4th down. They're 2 for 2 in the red zone. Bel Air has 8 first downs, 20 rushes for 85 yards. They are 9 of 19 in an interception for 139, 39 total plays for 224 yards. But Chuck, they've had the ball for 22 minutes and 5 seconds. and they're 4 of 10 on third down, and they've had no penalties, none.
Well, here's the 2-point conversion try to try to bring it within 51 points to see if it goes for it. Dominguez drops back, throws into the end zone, and it's going to be a timing pattern. Good bat away for Abilene High. The conversion is no good, and so at 9:28 here into the fourth quarter, Abilene High will lead 77-25. And tell you what, we'll be back with more of the Bi-District Championship game in a moment on AISD Live. District Championship action here on AISD Live 9:28 here in the fourth quarter. The Eagles of Abilene High 77 and the Highlanders of El Paso Bel Air 25, as Bel Air just got the last score on an 89-yard pass catch to Beard, so they'll tee up the ball. Abilene High will send back 3 deep return men, all standing at the 10-yard line. We're ready to go back to action here, and we're glad you're along with us on AISD Live. So the ball is teed up. The kicker for the Highlanders is Rafael Cordova, and here's the kick. He's pooching it, and it will bounce and go out of play at the Eagle 29. So with it going out, Greg, are they going to spot it?
Free kick out of bounds.
Where? 35?
Number 30, kicking
30-yard line. So
5
the
yards
Eagles,
added
once the
to
ball
the end
go
of
out
the
of play, netted
First
a
down.
yard.
Got some scores from Cooper's part of the bracket in Division 2. Fourth quarter, Palo Duro all over El Paso Hanks, 56-7. And at halftime in El Paso, Lubbock Cooper leads El Paso de Valle 24-21. And Abilene High's had some playoff run-ins with de Valle.
And most recently in girls softball. So we're ready to start the continual clock again. 9:26 here in the fourth. Tristan Bill hands off, and for Abilene High, the ball carrier is going to be Josh Castillo. Castillo goes to the right. He'll move the football from the 35-yard line. 5-yard gain to the 40.
Nice play by Castillo, just following his blockers. Finding a spot in there for a nice full 5-yard gain. So 2nd and 5 at the Abilene High 40. And Chuck, I think Bel Air's ready to get on the bus. They look like it.
And it is 2nd down and 5. Bill has Castillo lining up behind him. And Tristan going to option it outside. Josh has the ball. 45, 50, gets the first down. 45, and he's got the ball on the Highlander half of the field. So the Eagles will go on ahead now, and they will have their 14th first down in the game on Josh Castillo's receiving the pitch, and a nice clean pitch on an option.
Yeah, clean pitch and a nice tackle by number 32, Dylan Galvan, the sophomore. Galvan 32 and 25. Isaiah Medina, the freshman for the Highlanders. The Bel Air's got a lot of freshmen and sophomores on this varsity, Chuck.
They do, and only a couple of 3 seniors. On that last play, Bill Yeoman would have liked Tristan Bill's option on that one. Of course, the Houston Veer was invented by Bill Yeoman at the University of Houston. Before the ball is snapped on first down, penalty flag flies from the head linesman on the opposite side of the field.
Still a game offense, number 15. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
They will move 5 yards away and should start the clock back at 7:58 here in the fourth.
Yeah.
And that will be the case. You know, I like this technology. They tell you what down it is, how much to go. The computer graphics tell you everything. When I first started broadcasting, you had like a pole with 2 white dots. Everybody had a red flag. and the scoreboard was sponsored by Coca-Cola. Outside, this is going to be Castillo. He's over. He leaves from the 48, goes to the 45, down to the 35, and he should have enough for a first down at the 35 of the Highlanders. Greg, to tell you, my first year broadcasting, well, my second year, I did Albany line football, and from the John Nell press box, we did our legal IDs by looking at the clock atop the Shackelford County Courthouse.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It was, if we used gas, it was definitely leaded. No unleaded invented at that time. And you've got Castillo. He's trying to get away. They should have thrown a face mask flag, but I think the officials are wanting to try to get this one going. A loss on the yard, 6:37. And clock moving. Ball spotted back at the 33-yard line.
Albany's up 14-6. 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Wellington Skyrockets lead the Haskell Indians 27-16 at halftime.
Second down and 11. And here's the give. Castillo goes outside to the right. He'll get over the 30, get to the 29, and that's where he's stopped. And remind me who Albany is playing again this first round.
The Santo Wildcats.
So it is going to be third down and 5 for the Eagles.
Snangelo Central still pitching a shutout with 8:30 left in the third quarter.
So this first round on this first night has got some surprises. This one isn't one of them. Eagles leading 77-25. It is third down. Tristan Beal pitches to the outside. This is going to be Castillo. He'll turn the corner, get inside the 25, and will it be enough for a first down, Greg? Let's see where they spot it. Where are they going to put the down?
I think he's going to be about a yard short, but what I like there, they ran the wishbone, Chuck. See that little wishbone they threw right there, Abilene High? It's kind of neat. You hadn't seen wishbone.
Well, no, it looked like a veer. Looked like it was a Houston veer. Almost like a broken bone, but it looked like a veer.
Right, 4th and 1.
On the option pitch. Checking in the game now for Abilene High. You've got Hagan Johnson. And here's the dive play. Castillo hit, turns around, goes backwards, picks up another 6 yards and another Eagle first down.
Nice spin move by Castillo. Followed his blockers and then got a little extra yards on his own. So great run by number 16, the senior Josh Castillo. Nice little spin move there to get the first down. So 1st and 10, Eagles. Bel Air 17, clock running 4:23.
And it is first down for Abilene High from the 17-yard line. Here come the Eagles. They're going to split a pair out to the right, no one to the left. Bill, long count. He's going to give the ball to Castillo. He'll sidestep a tackler, and then he'll run right into a mix of them at about the 14. That should be about a 4-yard gain, bringing up second down.
Yeah, Nick Ramirez and a whole host of Highlanders stopped Castillo there, and because Ramirez almost looked like he was going to horse collar tackle him, but he didn't. Brings up 2nd and 7 on the Bel Air 14, clock running 3:45 left in the game.
On this 2nd down and 7 coming up from the 14. Eagles break their huddle. They're taking plenty of time, by the way. I think they're respecting the clock as well. Tristan Beal, long count, takes the snap, pitches back outside. Castillo steps in. Now he's going to go back out, get to the 12. Should be very close to where he needs to be for a first down. A good tackle by Ulysses Valdez.
And what I liked is Valdez made the tackle, but Dylan Galvan helped him up. Good sportsmanship by the Bel Air Highlanders. So 3rd down and 5 for Abilene High. Now, Chuck, if they don't get it here, do they kick a field goal here or do they go for it?
They're going to go for it. I think that's just manners. So 3rd and 5. Football on the 12. They need to get to the 8. And the Eagles shuffling players around. Beal right now calling a timeout. That stops the clock at 2:37.
Second charge timeout, Abilene High.
With Abilene High leading 77-25. We're going to take the timeout with them here on AISD Live.
You are watching AISD Live, Abilene ISD's exclusive home for streaming live games and events. For more live events featuring your favorite AISD students and teams, stay tuned to AISDlive.org, follow us on the AISD Live Facebook page, or subscribe to our Abilene ISD YouTube channel. Visit the AISD Live website for sponsorship opportunity information. Enjoy the game.
Welcome to the Bi-District Championship game. We're at 2:37 in the fourth quarter. The Abilene Eagles lead 77-25 over the Highlanders of El Paso's Bel Air High School. We get ready to come back to action. It is 3rd down and 5, and you've got Bill handing off. This is going to be Castillo. Josh Castillo moves the football to the 6-yard line. Greg, that should be a first down, bringing up a 1st and goal for Abilene High.
Yes, 1st and goal. Nice run by Castillo. He's been kind of the bell cow here in the fourth quarter. Just following his blockers. Nice blocking from the Abilene High offensive line. And the tackle was made by number 9 for Bel Air, Nick Ramirez, the sophomore. And Abilene High 1st and goal at the Bel Air 6. And we're going to be at the 2-minute timeout.
This is the 2-minute.
And it is a 2-minute timeout. And a lot of Eagles on the field. We just saw a substitution for Samuel Shabani. He's going to check out, and coming back into action is going to be Aiden Ushery. But there is a timeout on the field. Greg, go back over those scores, if you will, please, while we are in the 2-minute timeout.
Okay, let's see here in division, our bracket, our division right now. Halftime, Aledo leads Saginaw Rough Riders 49-6. Halftime in Denton. Denton Ryan 31, Chisholm Trail nothing. So that's who we will play if both these games turn out the way they are. We would end up playing the winner of Denton Ryan, Chisholm Trail. In Cooper's division, Palo Duro beats El Paso Hanks 56-7. Start of the second half, Lubbock Cooper leads El Paso de Valle 24-21, and in 6A, Mark Smith's Bobcats pitching a shutout in the third quarter, 10-0 over El Paso Pebble Hills. And people have told me they think, Chuck, Pebble Hills is the best team in El Paso.
Let's get ready to come back to action. It'll be 1st and goal for Abilene High from the 6-yard line. Tristan Beal at quarterback. Lining up behind him is Josh Castillo on this 1st and go. Give the ball to Castillo. He's hitting the backfield. Now he's going to turn his shoulder and get inside the 5. And Greg, he's ooching the pile, and he's into the end zone for an Abilene Eagle touchdown.
Great run by Josh Castillo. And number 48, Hagan Johnson, kind of just pushed him in there, kind of like a tush push, as they call when the Eagles do it for Philadelphia. So Abilene High scores the touchdown with 1:49 left, 83-25 pending the extra point.
6-yard run by Josh Castillo. Here comes the extra point try, and kicking for the Eagles is Caden Camp. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. And it couldn't have been prettier if it were a 7-iron shot and went through the goalpost. And our new score, Abilene High 84, Bel Air 25. We'll be back with more of the Bi-District Championship game on AISD Live.
Looking for a hands-on career path with high demand and great pay? The welding program at The Lift gives students real-world skills that lead to real opportunities. Whether it's gates or flatbeds, handrails or heavy equipment, if it's metal, you can weld it too. With great instruction, you can master all 4 major welding processes. So get ready to build a career with endless possibilities and join the welding program at The Lift. It isn't just a trade, it's your future.
And Josh Castillo scores another touchdown for Abilene High as we got 1:49 left here in the fourth quarter of the Bi-District Championship game. The Eagles of Abilene High 84 and 25 points for the Highlanders of El Paso Bel Air. Eagles tee it up, and our score 84-25. And when they do start the clock, it's a continuous clock, but it does stop after injuries or scores. So we're ready to see this one roll. Kicking off for the Eagles is going to be Samuel Batenji. And here's the approach on the ball. Samuel's got a squibber. It's going to bounce at the 30, be picked up at the 10. Here's the return to the 20, and he's knocked down at about the 27-yard line.
Yeah, 1st and 10 at the 27 for Bel Air. Chuck, I think if you're Bel Air, that was number 6, Jesus Lopez. Bel Air's going to try to score again just for their pride, but I think they're ready to get on the bus.
And this is the part of the movie where we say roll the credits. We want to say thanks to our student broadcast crew tonight, Brooke Berry, Gabriel Enriquez, and of course the guy flying in the left seat for us, Matthew Pelletier. Also AISD Live student interns with Malia Hawkins, Caden Kelton, Justice Torres, and we would be remiss if we left out the wonderful Lily Hoyt. So that is our crew for our production tonight, and we say thank you to our student broadcast crew. On first down, they gave the ball, and it went up the middle. Lopez got it and moved it to the 42-yard line. First down, pass out in the flat, and the receiver catches it at the 45, moves it to the Eagle 48. That's back-to-back first downs, and the clock moving at 1:05.
Marquette Beards had a good night for the Highlanders. After the end of the third quarter, he was 7 catches, 75 yards, and a touchdown. He's had a good night for El Paso Bel Air, and he's coming back. He's just a sophomore. He's going to get better.
1st and 10. Dominguez makes the pitch, the catch. It's caught at the 38 for another first down for the Highlanders.
Nice little pitch and catch to Jesus Lopez. So you look at this roster for Bel Air, Chuck, they have a lot of guys coming back next year.
And that's one of the things that Gary Ricoder told me is we're young and we're learning this year, next year, and the next year. We ought to be pretty good. And good luck to them. 15 seconds left, possibly last play, as they hand the ball up the middle. The running back is going to be Jonathan Fisher as they unpile off of him. He is going to get up, and there won't be another snap of the football because the clock has expired, and the Eagles of Abilene High are the Bi-District champions tonight by virtue of this 84-25 win over the Highlanders of El Paso Bel Air. And what a night to be an Eagle, as they have faced a team that they have not faced since the mid-60s, and we are just tickled to death to carry it. Tell you what, we're going to take a break and come back with our post-game show here on AISD Live.
Hey Abilene ISD community, want to catch all the action from Abilene High and Cooper High School games? It's easy. In addition to Facebook and Vimeo, we're now on YouTube. Just head on over to our YouTube channel by searching Abilene ISD and click subscribe so you never miss a live stream. Whether you're cheering from home or on the go, we're bringing the game to you. So join our online cheering section and stay connected with every play. Hit subscribe and get ready to show your school spirit today.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
And welcome back to Shotwell Stadium in Abilene, Texas tonight, as right now the Eagle team congratulating the Highlanders of El Paso Bel Air on a hard-fought game. And now the teams are going to respective huddles. The Eagles are going to gather around, and they will have a team picture made as they get ready to present the by-district championship trophy of 2025 to Abilene High. Greg, a big game on the scoreboard. Eagles 84-25 for the Highlanders, but it even looks bigger if you look at it on paper.
It does, Chuck. 24 first downs, 25 rushes, 286 yards, 19 of 25 passing for 282 yards. You can't get more balanced than that on offense. 50 total offensive plays, 568 total yards of offense, their biggest output of the season. They had one punt for 32 yards, 3 kickoff returns for 133 yards, 1 interception for 5 yards, 1 punt for 40 yards. They fumbled and got it back. They had 9 penalties for 86 yards, 22 minutes and 33 seconds time of possession, 7 of 10 on third down, 2 of 2 on fourth down, and 3 of 3 in the red zone. Tristan Bill, 13 of 18 passing, 226 yards, 5 touchdowns. Braden Henry, 6 of 7, 56 yards and 1 touchdown. But rushing tonight, Braden Henry, 5 carries, 137 yards, 3 touchdowns tonight. Ethan Joyner had 6 carries for 62 yards. But Josh Castillo with 12 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown. So for the El Paso Bel Air Highlanders, their season comes to an end at 2-9. They had 12 first downs. They rushed the ball 23 times for 75 yards. Dominguez was 13 out of 23 with an interception, with a touchdown, 264 yards. They ran 46 plays for 339 yards. They had 5 kickoff returns for 38, 6 punts for 18 yards. They lost a fumble. They had the ball 25 minutes and 35 seconds, 5 of 11 on third down, and 1 of 1 in the red zone. And Dominguez ended up tonight 13 out of 23, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns and interception. And Beard had 10 receptions for 190 yards. A big night for Beard. And like I said, Dominguez, a junior, Beard, a sophomore. Bel Air will be back next year, Chuck, and I think they're going to be better. But a huge night for Abilene High. Did exactly what Coach Fullen wanted them to do. And now we get ready and we face the winner of Denton Ryan and Chisholm Creek. And right now, that game going on in the third quarter, I believe. Let's take a look at the scoreboard here and see what we got. Third quarter with 9:56 left. Denton Ryan leads 38-0 over Chisholm Trail.
Wow. Just a big offensive night. Well, here's kind of what it looks like unofficially on paper. Braden Henry scored 5 touchdowns tonight. One of them was an 80-yard punt return. The other was a 52-yard kick return. You look at Majula Boso, 2 touchdowns. And then, of course, Le'Veon Kuntz, an interception return, as Castillo, as you mentioned, had 12 carries, 74 yards, and a touchdown. And then for Abilene High, you had Aaron Brown on 1 TD reception, Skylar Famoa, a rushing touchdown, and it was a complete game, offense and defense. Everybody got to be in on the scoring parade. The Eagles last year, first playoff game, they won 84-0 off of a school that didn't compete as hard as the Highlanders did tonight. The final score, Abilene High 84 and the Bel Air Highlanders 25. So the winner of Denton Ryan and who is it again? Chisholm Trail?
Chisholm Creek, yeah.
Chisholm Creek. We'll find out how that one comes out, and then the decision will be made when and where and what time for round 2 in the Class 5A High School Division I playoffs.
Chuck, I think they played a complete game tonight. This is exactly how you wanted to look coming off the bye week. And I give El Paso Bel Air credit. They gave 110%. They didn't quit. And that's what he told you on the phone. They weren't going to come down here and just lay down. They kept fighting all the way to the end. And he's got a good young team. But Abilene High now, gets ready for the area round of the playoffs, and they're no stranger to the area round. They've been there, how many years in a row have they been in the second round?
Oh, my goodness, I don't know. But, oh, yeah, Greg, here's one other stat. Tonight's 84-25 win for Abilene High is the 50th win for Mike Fullen as the head coach of the Eagles. So the Eagles right now in Fullen's 7 seasons of coaching Abilene High, 50 wins, 32 losses, and another big shiny ball on display in the cabinet on North 6th Street at Abilene High. But congratulations to Coach Mike Fullen for his 50th win as the head coach of the Eagles.
Chuck, I just thought it was complete. The defense did its job. The offense did a great job. Complete game. You saw the stats. They were 286 yards rushing, 282 passing. You can't get more balanced than that, for offense and defense, for rushing and passing. But now you just got to get ready for the area round. And, of course, the competition's going to get tougher the farther you go. You know that. So they got to get ready for whoever they play next week. Denton Ryan, we all know about their history. They're a perennial playoff power. They're ranked number 4. Chisholm Creek is a good team out of the district in the Metroplex. Chuck, all the Metroplex teams are good. We know that. So Abilene High will be ready for the challenge, whoever we play, next Friday. And we're going to have the best seat in the house because we're going to be there.
And we will. I just saw something that I really enjoyed. Everybody had the photo op holding up tonight's by-district trophy. They handed it to Travis Kern, the tight end coach for Abilene High. I saw him hold up a trophy on the 2009 state championship team when he was a tight end for Steve Warren. That just kind of made me feel good. Travis is a little older. He's a little grayer, but still a competitor as a coach, and it made me feel good seeing him hold up another gold football.
That's very special, Chuck. And was he the tight end that was in the wheelchair that got hurt?
No, that was McKay.
Okay.
That was McKay, and then there was Schrader after McKay got hurt. And, of course, on the front page of the area-wide phone book, nobody uses phone books anymore, but teammates pushing McKay through the Warbird inflatable at Texas Stadium as the Eagles got ready to continue the playoff run there. And then Kern started the state championship game. So, a lot of fond memories following the black and gold. Tonight is another good memory by virtue of the by-district championship game. Greg, any final thoughts before we wrap it up and get ready to go to the Hacienda?
No, I just think congratulations on Coach Fullen on his 50th win. It's been a special night here at Shotwell. Got to visit with Dr. Kuhn. And, we're all excited that the Vader passed. And Matthew always does a great job for us. I think this whole AISD production crew always does a fabulous job. But I'm just excited about the Eagles moving forward. You couldn't ask for a better game to get ready for the second round of the playoffs, Chuck.
And you're right. So, once again, thanks to our crew tonight. Matthew Pelletier in the box with us tonight. You've kept us on the tracks, the train on schedule. Thank you very much. Brooke Berry, Gabriel Enriquez, as well as Malia Hawkins, Caden Kelton, Justice Torres, and, of course, the first sergeant of our group, Randy Cluck, keeping everybody rolling tonight. So for everybody in the AISD family, thank you once again for being with us on this broadcast of the by-district championship game. So for Greg Knuckles, I'm Chuck Statler. Once again, the final score, Abilene High 84 and El Paso, the Highlanders from Bel Air High School 25. We ask God, please bless Texas, and we say goodnight from Shotwell Stadium.